What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
I feel amazing, bro.
Nice.
I feel amazing. It's a great day today.
Always is, I'd say.
I would agree, bro. It's a good day. It's a good day.
I wish I said I was going to do it if I didn't have anything. I have a random fact for the day.
You did say that, bro. You did say
Don't
that,
have
man. Come on, man. I need a random fact. I need something to just take it. You know what I mean? Just give me something.
Fine, how about this? I'll Google search random fact of the day.
Give me something random today, bro. Like, I need something today, Deke. I need something, bro. I'm feeling good, though.
What are you thinking? The headline that just reads random facts, or the one that reads 50+ random facts, fun facts to have on your hand at your next dinner party?
Let's start with the fun facts, and what we'll do is this.
It just says random facts.
Let's tap in. Let's read a couple off, and let's see what you got for us today, man. Random fat Deke to start us out on Friday Junior. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog, Professional Momentum. Let's ride.
I will read 3. President Kennedy was the fastest random speaker in the world with an upwards of 350 words per minute.
Dude, okay. So he talks really fast, is what they say.
I guess.
I wish I could remember him speaking. I don't remember a lot of his speaking. Granted, that wasn't my time frame, but yeah.
I know he's a good public speaker.
I thought he spoke well. Yeah, I don't remember him speaking fast, but
right.
Maybe he speaks faster than most presidents. Maybe that's what they're saying there. Yeah.
Fastest that's a really stupid random fact.
All right.
The random fact has the word random in it.
It's too random to be a random fact.
Is the fastest random speaker in the world? Yeah. That's the stupidest thing. All right. We'll keep this one local.
Let's do it. Come on.
57 on Heinz ketchup bottles represents the number of varieties of pickles the company once had.
57 varieties of pickles. Shout out to that Pittsburgh connection right there. I like that. Okay. Well, we do call it Picklesburg because we do have Picklesburg, you know.
I've never even heard that.
Serious? That's like a big thing downtown. Absolutely.
I know there's that pickle day where they have that giant pickle.
About. It's called Picklesburg. That's it's like a big festival. They shut down all the bridges downtown. Yeah, man. It's a big deal. They got all type of stuff that going on. Pickle drinking contest, pickle eating contest. Can you get a pickle t-shirt? Can you pickle joke pickle? Can you pickle outfit your pickle? Can you pickle powder, pickle Peter, pepper, pickle pipe, pickle pepper pump? You know what I'm saying? It's all that type of stuff going on down there. Shout out to them pickle people. Yeah. Give me another random fact. Let's do it, man. Let's keep the randoms going for a little bit.
We'll go with this one. It doesn't really mean anything, but it is a random fact.
Does it get the people going?
No. On the new $100 bill,
no.
The time on the clock tower of Independence Hall was 4:10.
Why not 4:20?
I don't know. Why not 4:12?
4:20 would have been perfect if it was that time, man.
4:10. Random. I don't know.
That is weird. Shout out to the randomness of it, though. Do you got 100 on you?
Hold on.
About to say, let's see what we got, man.
Well, I'm gonna look up why.
Yeah.
Why $100 bill?
Why is it 410 and not 420? I wish it was 420. 420 would be a fire dollar.
It has been suggested this may refer to April 10th, the 100th day of the year. Oh, that's it.
Okay.
That's pretty smooth, actually.
Okay, I like that.
That's smooth.
Shout out.
That's a good little detail there.
Yeah, so the 410 represents the 100th day of the year, which is why it's on the $100 bill.
I like that.
That's dope right there. We can work with that.
There's a few random facts for you.
Shout out to the random facts by Deke on this here Thursday, aka Friday Junior. I like that, man. Yeah, man. For me, nothing crazy going on. I did get a chance to go out and research today, man. I needed to support my friend, my brother, Ryan Shazier. Everybody knows he just released his new line of medical marijuana. So I was like, you know what, man, let me go tap in and just see, what he has prescribed out here for the community.
It's literally prescribed for the community.
It's prescribed for the medical field out there. You know what I'm saying? So me being a medical person, I wanted to go do my due diligence today, Deke.
So you got vapes?
Not yet. He has flower right now. Vapes are in the work is what they were saying. So It's intriguing. He has multiple products supposed to be coming out.
Cookies, edibles. So he just has flower right now.
What I will say right now, the flower that I had a chance to research and experience. It's top notch. It's top notch. Salute the homie, man. He got a good.
So he's
going
to be a big
right
hitter
now,
in the game
Hey,
of marijuana.
I think he has.
He's a
chance.
new Titan.
I think he has a chance, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. And he's pushing it with his story too.
He's got the story.
He talked about how it helped him with his recovery. Now that he's publicly said that, we can attest to it and say yes, we can confirm he did use this to help with his recovery, and it was beautiful to see the impact that it had on him. So it was good to hear him sharing that story.
Got
and
back
stuff
walking
like that,
again.
man. So yeah, absolutely, man. And we know where he was, during that time frame, man. But it was good to be able to go out and support the homie today. So yeah, man. Yeah. Life is great right now. Great, grand. Yeah, amazing.
I'd say things are good for me too.
Euphoric. Yeah. Outer body experience. Some might feel like you're levitating right now. A mood stimulant. Helps with your focus too, Deke. I'll tell you that. I kind of got lost in the sauce, man. I've been watching tape for the past 3 hours. I looked up, I said, what happened? So, thanks a lot, Shay. Appreciate you. Yeah.
You seeing any underrated prospects?
Oh, man. Well, we're going to talk about
Was
some
that
of these
NFL
guys
tape or
today.
college?
We watched some college tape today, so we're going to get a chance to talk about a couple of these collegiate guys, some corners, because obviously, like I said, man, we get a ton of you guys sending those names in, and we wanted to tap into some of those guys today, man. So, we could drop the names now and give y'all the heads up on the front end of this thing, but it's a little bit more suspense when we wait. So I'm going to wait right now. But, man, I tell you, though, man, it's just, like I said, it's a great day, baby. It's a great day.
I agree.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and start today's show the way that we always do, ladies and gents, because we got plenty to discuss today. Drop in the comment section where you are tuning in from, and we will give you those big boy shout-outs to start today's show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Shout out to the homie, though, bro. Shout out to the homie. My dog, Shay, he got one, bro. He got one. I'm convinced. I'm super duper happy, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just, yeah. I started to come here and do a full product review, man. And I was like, you know what? Let me just relax. Marshawn inspired me, bro. I blame him. I was looking on my IG and he was doing his weed maps promo, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. Hold on. And I said, nope. Don't you fall for the sauce, Moats. Don't you fall for that sauce. But yeah, it just feels amazing.
Jar Devil, tuning in from the 310, San Pedro, California.
Let's go.
Mr. Pitt Steelers for life, Fort Worth, Texas, the 817.
Let's get it.
Rod Dollars, the 330, Youngstown, Ohio. Share line, baby.
Shout out to Sharon. You know he gonna turn up one time.
Craig Ellis, the 717, Lancaster, PA, as always.
Major love.
David Dupree, tuning in from Gainesville, Florida.
Is that
the 352?
D Saballs. Let's get it.
Demented Loon, Peckville, PA.
Where is that at, bro?
No clue.
Okay.
No clue.
I was like, I've never heard that part of PA before, but shout out.
Pittsburgh Toddy, 86. No snow today in the 520, Tucson, Arizona.
Let's get it. Yeah, we don't have any snow today either, but I think it's snow in the forecast in the next couple of days. So, yeah, make sure I start preparing. It's crazy how it was literally like 70-something degrees yesterday, bro.
Still nice today.
It's nice. Yeah, just a little drizzle. But
what,
it was
like
nice,
almost
though.
60
Yeah.
or it's in the 50s or something
Absolutely,
like that?
man.
Sammy Buckets, the 918, home of Black Wall Street. Thanks for all the positive vibes.
Nah, respect, man. And positivity back your way as well, man. We always try to put that out there, man. That's why we like to make sure we're mentally in a good headspace when we come up here on this show, man. That we feeling euphoric. That we feeling just free and above the negativity, baby. Like I said, I just feel like I'm walking on air right now, baby. It's a great feeling. Shout out to my dog.
Jamie Carlo, 321, Melbourne, Florida. Y'all, let's get it.
Let's get it. Let me tap in here real quick, Deke. Let me tap in, man. All right, because I got Adam Eccles tuning in from the 706, Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. Yeah, shout out to, was it Keely Ringo? Absolutely. Them dogs, them Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, go. All right, we also got Wendy Johnson tuning in from the 562, Long Beach, California. I need to go support Shay, too. Absolutely. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing it for Shay. I had to go and test the whole line, So I got through the first product, but I got multiple other products from his line that I have to test out to give a full review. Might even have to have him come on the show to talk about this stuff as well. Now that I think about it, I see a little parallel popping up here, man. Stay tuned. All right.
He's been asking about it.
He has been. And this is my problem, Deke. I'm stuck between, do I want to wait a little bit longer or do I want to go ahead and pull the trigger now? That's my issue, man. But getting a chance to experience his products has definitely expedited.
Got you hyped? You're about to dial him up right now?
Dude.
Sounds like.
I was literally going to text him before I had started the show today. And I was like, you know what? Let me wait. Because he go text back and now I'm trying to talk while we talking. It was like, I'm going to just hold off for it. But trust me, bro, that's where I was at. When you seen the smile on me, bro. You seen it? Yeah, man. Yeah. And because it's my friend, it's different. Like, I've experienced other people's product and it's cool. But it's not the personal connection. I felt a little bit of a connection with Ricky Williams. Because I played against him. But it still wasn't the same.
He's got his own product?
He does, and it's pretty dope, too.
Not surprised that he has his own product.
Very true. Yeah, especially him, right? Especially to be surprised by him. But for it to be my homie, for it to be my brother, this is my guy. You feel me? So for it to be his line and it to be a good line, so I don't have to be like, yeah, my dog got a line, but I don't really like it like that. Like, it just feels really reassuring for me. That's all, man.
Rod Dollars is wondering if he's expanding to a mushroom line.
Oh, Lord. I don't know.
Rod Dollars and Bart Basquiato would be customers right there.
They would be top-notch customers. I'm scared of that wood, man. I have not tapped over there yet, man.
Hey, listen, I want to stop the show real quick.
Oh, what's happening? Talk to
Q
me.
has gifted 20 Upper Room memberships.
Say what?
He gifted 20.
Shout out to, I just seen what you said. Shout out to Q, man. Q, major love to you, man. Major love. Let's tap in real quick on the 20 people. But first off, man, major love to Q. Once again, big time shout out for you paying it forward, man. We definitely appreciate your support and for, opening the door for other people to support the channel as well, man. But Jay Flame, Marcus Fields, Mr. Ethan Webb, Sajan Patel, Camo Kid Champagne, you know what time it is. Bobby Burt, Phantom TV, Caesars Valdez, Stephen Carpenter, Quentin Wagner, Corey Anderson, Juju's biggest fan, 1919, D'Angelo May, Corey Hewins, Chandler the P, Quez 96, Elijah Not a Star, Charles Cumin, Keenan Fuller, and Frank K. Welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Also, John Pell has joined the Upper Room.
Oh, and shout out to you, John Pell, and welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Man, I feel like I'm in the upper room right now. With y'all being in the upper room right now. We all in the upper. Deke, are you in the upper room right now, man? The upper room.
I'm not. Steady in that lower room.
No, Deke, you got to get in the upper room.
Steady on the ground.
Deke, come on, man. I wish I could send the rope down there. I'll pull you up right now. Come, Deke.
No, me and the lower room members, we're all vibing. We're vibing.
I'm reaching my hand out. It's like when you watch wrestling, they tags it. Come on, brother. Come on, let me get you. Come on, Deke. Come, man. You got to get to the upper room, baby. Deke, the upper room is waiting on you, man. I got a seat.
I see that. You just got 21 new
I
members.
got a seat waiting on just for you, Deke. You get the seat right there, man. Whenever you're ready, bro. However you want to get to the upper room, just let me know, man.
I first got to make the song for the lower room.
Yeah, you do got to do that.
I can't just leave the lower room hanging without a song.
How long has it been since? I mean,
about
I'm trying
2
to
years.
think 2 years, right?
Probably 2 years.
Yeah, when that first became like a thing, like, hey, what's the lower room song?
Yeah, still haven't come up with it.
But you know what? That might be one of our running things for the show. As the duration of the show keeps going on, we'll be down this thing 5, 10. They'll be like, yo, man, what's the lower room song? Deke's still working on it. He it's almost there. Coming soon. So you got something. It's coming soon.
Yep, don't have it. You want me to hit some of these super chats then?
Man, you got to take a hit. As long as you puff it and pass it, we good. Or are you selfish?
I just got nothing today.
Okay, all right.
I told you I'm lower room.
Okay. Well, I'll be in up room for both of us then. How about that? You know, I got you. You know, sure. I got your back. Sacrifices must be made for the betterment of the team. I got you, bro.
Fisher Momentum, just saying Happy Friday, Junior.
Let's get it.
And Arthur Moats and Deke, your host with the Moats.
Hey, I like what you did there. Okay, all right. Just roll with it. If you say it fast, it just sounds cool.
We got Steeler Nation on fire. Y'all heard about what happened to Michael Irvin? I
did, if you're referring to the Super Bowl situation. I don't know if there's anything new that might have transpired, but from what transpired at the Super Bowl was essentially he went to the hotel. This was prior to like the event starting. Him and a lady that I guess either works at the hotel or something along those lines had some words. She made a claim. he ends up getting taken off of all of his Super Bowl responsibilities by the network. Come to find out, claims look like they are not accurate. So Michael Irvin countersues and stuff like
$100 million lawsuit for defamation.
Decides to sue her for defamation of character, absolutely, because not only did it cost him a ton of money for all of his Super Bowl responsibilities that he was going to be doing with NFL Network, but it also put some more, dirt on his reputation, dirt on his name. And for a player like him or a person like him who has already had stuff that he's dealt with in the past, you don't need anything that is not 100% accurate to be put on your name as well. So we'll obviously see, how this whole process plays out. We ain't gonna rush the judgment one way or the other, but it's one of those things. It's unfortunate if it was a false claim, and at the same time, if Mike did something that he wasn't supposed to be doing or saying, at the same time, it's like, you know what, you do have to be held accountable. So I see it from both ways, but we'll let the due process be played out. So shout out to due process, baby.
Yeah, that's the latest update, too.
Okay.
He just filed the defamation lawsuit.
Yeah.
That was a couple days ago, so I didn't see any more updates.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, man, to see how this whole thing continues to, like I said, transpire. But it's unfortunate, man, one way or the other, because, it's some wrong that was done. Either way, whether it was on his side or on her side, you want people to just be kind, be nice, and be happy. Can't we all just get along, Deke?
I think so.
Can't we all just get along? I'm just trying to all get along, baby. That's all.
Fisher Momentum has a random fact for us.
Oh,
Frank
I love
Welker, Scooby-Doo, in parentheses,
Right?
does the roars in The Lion King.
Raggy? Shout out to Frank Welker. And I like the fact that Official Momentum is going to keep us with a Lion King fact. I don't know if you realize that all facts lead back to Lion King or the Steelers. That's
Or
what I
Disney.
realized.
We've gotten some just Disney ones as well, right?
Yeah, but the majority they do stem back to. But technically, Lion King is Disney.
Right.
Yeah.
He's done some other Disney cartoon facts though for us, but you're right. Probably 85 to 90% are the Lion King.
Yeah,
for sure.
Even though you still need to watch the behind the scenes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never got around to that one either.
Slacking on the job, bruh.
Fish Momentum says Ambition live at Craft House tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
Turn up, let's get
He
it.
did say in the Twitch chat yesterday that he's gonna have a table for me and you.
Oh, salute. Okay. Shout out.
Tido
Definitely appreciate it.
Says Beer Fest is almost here. Still want to go to Pickle.
Beer Fest, I heard, is pretty cool as well, man. Pickle Burger is dope though, man. Pickle Burger is definitely a nice little vibe, man. Beer Fest is turned up too, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I like Beer Fest. It's cool. But it's weird because I'm not a big beer drinker. But I like the atmosphere that's there, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, my buddy usually goes down. I don't think I've been down to Beer Fest.
Yeah, because usually we're having it indoor at the convention. Yeah.
Fish Momentum says Deke killing it on Twitch.
Let's go.
Also, Barney's back.
Barney's back.
Did they cancel him or something?
Well, yeah, they tried to. Yeah.
He
came under fire for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They had that documentary on him,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. He came.
They didn't make a horror movie on him. That was only
Winnie the Pooh. Movie on Pooh. Yeah. but the horror movie is fine. The documentary was not fine. The documentary was like,
there were sketchy things in the documentary.
We learned a little too much now, and it was like, yeah, we can't cancel. It's Barney. It's the purple dinosaur. Like, you can't cancel. It was like when people cancel Elmo. That was the time we got canceled.
Really?
Yeah, man, because the real Elmo, not the character Elmo, the real Elmo, Deke ain't want him playing with his puppets around you, all right? That's all I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
So there was sketchy shit going on with the people surrounding Barney.
Correct.
That's why they dropped the documentary on it.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's never good when you get the documentary dropped like that, bro. You don't want those documentaries.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, just be nice. Touch what you're supposed to touch and don't touch what you're not supposed to touch, all right? Be nice. And stay happy. That's the theme of the day. Stay happy, Deke. Remember that. Just stay happy, bro.
Fish Momentum says, what free agents we grabbing? Also, what about Jordan Addison?
Hey, salute Jordan Addison, man. I was watching his tape today because obviously I was watching, cornerback going up against said Jordan Addison, man. But I like Jordan's game, bro.
Who went up against him?
Utah.
Of the ones. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, man. So that was a fun one, man. Watching him and Clark Phillips III battle it out for a little bit. But no, Jordan, man. Jordan has some nice tape. Silky smooth route runner. There's also double watching Jordan because it might be another team that could be in the market for a wide receiver of his talent, and I might have had to cut on some tape and do some reviews on a player like him.
We
you
can't
know what
let
I'm
it
saying?
happen.
But other than that, I mean, he'll be a great pickup here as well. He would, but I just think that his services could be better utilized if he went a little bit further up north. That's all I'm saying, man.
We didn't need an additional reason to draft Addison,
Yo,
but there definitely is one at this point.
You gotta chill.
It's
Don't
like
do
one of
that.
those
Don't
win-win
you do
scenarios.
that. Don't
When you
you
trade
do
for a
that.
player
Don't you
and
do
another
that.
team isn't able to get him, then it's like a double win.
Why you want to be
So
like
in this
that?
case, you draft a player
Why you wanna
here in
be like
Pittsburgh,
that,
like a
bro?
Jordan Addison. Another team, a little bit further down the draft board, can't get him. Like, the reasons are already there for us to get him. KP8, Jordan Addison connection. He's a damn good receiver. I think he could be electric in our offense, but there's one more reason. I just feel like
man.
Why we have to
Why
make
you
sure
gotta
we get
go?
him.
I don't know why you got to go that route, man. You don't have to turn it into that. I just think that he could really maximize his potential in a situation up a little bit further than here. That's all. He could still be dominant here. He would have a fun time here. I just think that he would enjoy himself a lot more and have a lot more chances of running up the compensation number if he were to take his time just a little bit further that way. Just a little bit, He can cook either way. I just feel like it's going to be a little crowded here. That's all.
Well, if TG's predictions anything right,
Then it won't be crowded. Yeah. We'll take that too, though. He can send it that way too.
We can't do that.
Everybody say whichever one you want to send.
We can't do that.
It's one or the other. I would love
Deontay,
either one.
if it is a trade, he's going to the NFC.
I would love whichever one, man. They send him either one of them, man.
We'll trade Deontay to the Saints or the Packers.
Come on, man. You said Deontay can't catch anyways, man. What, he can't do no damage up there in Buffalo. He can't do no damage up there, no boy. He can't catch, right? Just send him on up there, man. Come on, Dropson.
He can catch.
Go ahead,
He just catches the easiest
send
ones.
Deontay Dropson up there to Buffalo, like, because y'all, you know what I'm saying? He can't catch no way. He's stealing, right? All that, man. Yeah, he can go on up there, bro. Everything be fine. We go ahead and draft Jordan down here. We'll be good, bro. I think it'll be a match made in heaven. Everybody be happy.
We don't have to get crazy here.
We
could draft Addison, keep Deontay. You could think about that next offseason or for the years to come. We don't have to get crazy. You got both.
Okay.
Do good in free agency. Maybe trade for Jalen Ramsey here. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
There's a pathway here.
No, it is. It is. But the more I watch Jordan Addison, though, the more I really feel
You're
like
seeing it.
No, it's not that it's not that I've never saw it before. I just still, the more I'm watching him, the more I feel like it's overkill to bring him here while Deontay is here, though.
They're too similar.
They are very similar, man. Like the way that they could play slot, the way that they play on the outside, the way that they work their releases, like.
That's why the Deontay trade makes sense if you're going to draft Addison.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, if you're bringing in Addison, like, they are literally, like, almost carbon copy of each other. Like, they obviously have a little bit differences. I think, like I said, Jordan is a little bit better on the deep ball, obviously a little bit better in terms of consistently catching. I think Deontay is a little bit quicker in and out of his breaks and does a better job of getting the short to intermediate separation. But, yeah, both of them dudes are very similar when I watch them.
Okay, next we have Justin Gordon. John is officially a word in Webster's.
Hey, let's go. Shout out to all my Philly folk, man. You know that Jean over there was crazy, man. Hey. What you know about that Jean over there, bro? You ain't with that 215, man. You ain't part of that movement,
John?
man. You don't know about that Jean over there?
No, I say joint.
I'm a joint guy because I'm a VA dude. I like joint. Shout out to joints. You know, we're joint guys. I'm a joint guy. I support the joint movement, yeah. But, you know, for the Philly folk, they go with the Jean. You know, a little Jean right there. Like, all right, bet.
That's just Philly?
That's where I heard it at, Philly. In Baltimore, they say Mo, you know, or was it, you got Mo, you got your Alabama, I think, was it D.C., Baltimore, you get luncheon, you know, yeah, they all got their little, yeah, they got their little thing. Oh, that's Jack Crazy right there. Like, bro, what? Yeah, that's another one they do.
Let's go, UW. Steelers now down to a 16-man coaching staff. 9 on offense, 5 on defense, 1 special teams, 1 head coach.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Coach Bitch, man. Coach Bitch really done retired on us, bro. Like, he really's retired.
All I've heard is a bunch of good things about him.
I love Coach Mitch, bro. He's like that, bro. Absolutely. I mean,
it actually could be a significant loss for us.
Absolutely. Yes. Like, we talked about him, obviously, when TG was on. But no, man, Coach Mitch is one of them dudes that if you've ever had the chance to be around him, man, like, you know what it means. Like, all the players, you love him. And it's not because he talks nice to you. Nah. But he's a straight shooter. He's always going to be honest with you 100%, whether you want it or not. And that's the part that you always appreciate with Coach Mitch, man. So when you talk about like how he's able to coach some of them dudes and coach them so hard, but they respond and they, you see their growth and their development. That's the reason why, man. He's one of them dudes that like believes in the fundamentals. But you think about his history too, bro. First black player at Alabama under Bear Bryant.
Oh, wow.
Then spent time with Belichick. Been with Coach T. It's like, bro, he's stamped across the board in terms of like just those type of experiences and being around legendary people, man. His experiences, bro, absolutely. And then you just think about his track record here in Pittsburgh. Well, you got your Aaron Smiths, you got your Casey Hamptons, you got your Cam Hayward, your Stephon Tuitt, heck, Javon Hargrave. You think about them type of dudes. It's like, bro, his impact is filthy. Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt, man. But at the same time, they did do a good job when they brought in Dunbar. But I say, because he's one of those guys too, man, that knows his stuff, man. Has a positive track record as well, man. So now it's gonna be dope though, bro. But nah, he's definitely one of the ones that, yeah, you gonna feel his presence not being there, man. Yeah.
There comes a time to retire. There comes a time to move on, bro. Yeah.
That's a long and honestly, Deke, like, so when we get in there, me and Debo doing the 5 a.m.s and stuff, it was 2 other people that would be in there with us consistently. Mike Tomlin and Coach Mitchell. And them dudes in that thing, same amount of time. Now, the difference was we in there getting in. Coach Mitch, he on that walking machine. He ain't really trying to tap in. But this dude around the clock watching tape, I've literally never seen a scenario where a player had asked him, can we watch tape before practice, after practice, whenever. He's always got time, bro. Man, it was times when we were training, can you watch this? I'm like, bro, it's like midnight. Man, if y'all don't get out of that room watching tape with this man, like, yo, this is crazy. But that's his energy, bro. Around the clock, he don't care about nothing. It's like, nah, if it's time to work, we gonna work. And we don't put a clock on that thing. We don't care about how long we been in here. We just working. Yeah.
Just a shame he's dipping out before the Super Bowl run next season.
Seriously. But he got his heart weird, though. He didn't put his time in. But nah, he one of them dudes, though, man. From the heart.
Steeler Nation on fire. I bet Juju going to get hit stick over the middle next season. He says he can't wait. That's my ass off.
I mean, Juju has definitely brought some added attention to himself. And, that's a part of it. Every action has a reaction, cause and effect. We'll see how it plays out for him. I hope everything works out for him. But that is the effect to what he did. When you make those type of statements and you back those statements up with more statements, yeah, you open yourself up, man. So we shall see. But shout out to my dog, though, man.
AJ Martinez says, puff, buff, give. Let's go.
Got to get to the community, baby. Absolutely.
Happy Friday, Junior, to Master and the Lady Love Machine, D. Diggler.
Ooh, it was Lover's Day. Yes, it was Lover's Day a couple days ago now. It was Lover's Day. Deke say he done recovered. He's back good now. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Salute you, bro. Salute you.
Says Sabotage 7. Sabotage 10.
There it is. Salute.
What the hell is
Salute. That? No, just roll with it. Salute.
This is off-brand, AJ.
No, this is perfect, AJ. I like this. It is Thursday AJ, too. You just never forget, You never know which version of AJ shows up on Thursday. Don't forget that, now. He could go. Yeah.
He also says Sabotage 14, question mark. Concerns.
So I get...
What?
So the reason he says the Sabotage 14 is more so just going back to the lack of targets, so to speak. But once again, that goes back to the criticism of, was it Canada scheming it up, or was it Kenny not actually throwing it always? But we've talked about that a lot as well, man. So I don't think it's a sabotage on any of it. I just think that the flow is the flow. But see, this is you created, man. You opened up the door with the sabotage. So now we sabotage it all.
No,
so who was truly sabotaging 14?
There was no Sabotage 14 last year. Okay. No. I mean, he still had 800 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He should have had 1,200, though.
We definitely shifted our offense to a more run-first attack in the second half.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we needed Pickens to step up, though, he did.
Yeah.
Particularly late in the Raiders game, and also we had the touchdown in the Browns game.
Yeah, we saw multiple
late
times,
in the season.
Absolutely.
So there's no sabotage Pickens, but I would like him to get the ball more.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about that.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man.
Should just naturally happen.
Yeah.
Him and Pickett going into their second year.
Well, yeah, man. And
building more of a rapport.
They'll both continue to develop. And that's one of the things, like, when I look at George, I want to see better route running. The one trick was cool. The verticals and the back shoulders are cool, but show me you're more than that. That's going to be what he has to work on this offseason, getting in and out of those breaks. Because at this level, you're not always going to be more athletic than these DBs over here, man. Some guys play with just great technique, and that technique will offset some of the athleticism that he plays with. And those are the things where you start saying, hey, now you got to fine tune the little things, the little minutia, the details of it. Where are your feet pointing when you're getting in and out of your breaks? What is your hips like? What is your pad level like? Are your arms going dead? How are you setting it up before you might decide to make your move in your route? So those are some of the things that, he's going to have to just tap in to refine, but he's more than capable of it, though, without a doubt.
Fish Momentum says a new Barney cartoon and movie. He's got a gap tooth.
I was going to say, I didn't even remember if Barney had teeth or not, low key.
You're right. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember he was perp.
So
shout out to the perp.
They got Barney with like SpongeBob teeth then, I guess.
All right. SpongeBob Barney.
Ryan McPherson. Tomorrow is my B-day.
Let's go. Turn up.
Says, I'm not trying to get attention.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see for a birthday gift, Moats becoming an exclusive Steeler fan.
Ooh.
No more red and blue.
Hey, man, the beauty is this. The beauty is this. I only grant kids for wifey and my children. So, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, I cannot grant you that wish. Can't do it. Yeah. Just wifey and the kiddos, man.
What if they ask for that?
Well, that would be different. But they've never asked for that. In fact, sometimes they be like, Dad, why you got to talk to these Steeler fans? Like, they so annoying at times. They so this. And I'll be like, yo, y'all got to chill, bro. Y'all got to chill. Yeah, you know. You know how Steeler fans can get. But you know how Steeler fans get. You definitely have seen how Steeler fans can get. You even had to experience
I'm one of them.
No, but you've had a taste of it when they turned on Kenny. You know how they can get. And it's like, you'll come in here on your soapbox, but you get a chance to express it. They don't have that platform. They don't have a social media or a stream, so they vent it this way. Be like, Dad, man, give me that Bills hat today. It's like, dang, that's what we on.
It's funny you brought up the line from Batman, you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I did witness myself and Big Ben take that turn. When was it?
Yes, bro.
Back in October in 2021.
Yep.
They were running Big Ben out of town with the pitchforks after that Packers loss, and I came in here defending Ben, and they were doing the same thing to me.
Even before the Packers loss, they came in on some, we should trade for that quarterback instead of this quarterback.
I remember.
Bro, you're facing this quarterback this week.
I remember.
No. Like, not 2 weeks from now. Like, this is the game, and you're talking about that? Yeah, man. So that is why my fam never comes to me and say, hey, man, we need to exclusively be Steelers fans, because they're like, Dad, I'm like, I get it. I know.
It's one of those things I forgive, though. I don't forget, but I
tell my children all the time, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's what I tell them. Forgive them, they know not what they do.
Because what happened,
just emotional, man.
End of that 2021, Big Ben dug deep. Got that Broncos win, and all of a sudden, rattled off more wins, most fourth quarter comebacks, some electric performances in the second half of these games, Chargers, Vikings, and then we somehow find ourselves in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like I was trying to tell everyone.
And I will say this too,
tough.
man.
It was a tough moment at that time.
No, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. Like I said, sometimes fans want to make you, put a flag in the ground and pick a side and all that good stuff. And I feel like, for fans, sometimes y'all do gotta, take that type of approach. It's different for me though, because I've bled for both, So yeah, as an alumni of both, I make sure that I divvy it up the right way. See, you notice we won't even put all that Bills content on this channel anymore. That Bills content is on another channel somewhere out there in the universe. All right,
Moats Mafia.
You know what I'm saying? See, here you go.
Is that what it's called? I honestly don't know.
What Moats Mafia?
I know they brought it up in the chat.
That is a catchy name. I do like the name of it. That is catchy. But that might not be the name of it, okay? But there is content that goes out on a separate Bills channel for the Bills population, the Bills fan base, okay? But we keep the Steelers thing, Yeah. When you're, that's the beauty of being a player too. Fans, you're it's emotion, it's passion, it's just all of that in there, and it's all rolled into one. You mix like the passion, the analytics, and everything, and it's just a big gumbo pot. Well, as players, we really have to specialize in compartmentalizing. Like, you got to see your friend have something tragic happen, and then, you know, an hour later, you got to go play in the game. You got to just turn that feeling off. Sometimes you might be out here like, bro, you know what, man, I'm really vibing here, but you got to turn that off and go here. So as a alumni of both, I'm just able to turn it off and turn it on. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different for me. But I rock with that fan vibe, though. You know that, baby. You know me. Yeah.
When am I going to meet Zeke?
Chill, bro. I heard they said he should be called Beak. Yeah. You know, that's what I've been hearing.
We'll have to put me versus him on the undercard of one of these fights.
No, we don't want. I don't need any other reason, Deke, for you to look at the blue and the red and see it as a negative. I want you to look at that blue and the red and envision a smiley face. Envision a welcoming, warm hug. No. Envision like a home cooked meal. You know what I mean? Just
whenever I'm seeing the American flag and I combine it with America, yes.
It's a
not
great
the
vibe.
Bills, though.
So think of the Buffalo Bills just like America. It's like, oh, this is beautiful.
Not the same.
Land of the brave, home of the free. That's what they say. Buffalo's the land of the brave. It's the home of the free. Come on, man. Just get on. Yeah. You don't have to look at them and think opposition. No, think community. Think one band, one sound. We do it for the AFC as a whole.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see?
Don't work like that in my mind.
What you mean? The colors gotta go blue and red, black and gold. They kind of go hand in hand together, man. It's a good transition. Yeah.
Don't see it.
You don't see it? Just a little bit?
No.
Not a little bit?
No, not working.
Just a little, like.
Doesn't work for me.
Deke, the color red brings out your eyeballs. Like.
No.
When you throw on that blue shirt, like, it really makes your hair stand out a little bit more to me.
I don't do it. Steeler Nation on fire. Bring in Lovie Smith as an assistant coach.
Shout out to Lovie.
That wouldn't be a bad call.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that, man. Lovie's definitely a dude that...
Be actually an amazing call.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the Lovie move. That'd be no different than bringing in when we had Brian Flores or anybody else that we think has that potential to be a head coach type candidate, man. Lovie Smith definitely would be a huge asset. But when you talk about that, it's more so the dynamic of would he be open to that particular role, because not everybody wants to go in, you know, be a little bit lower on the totem pole. He's been a head coach. He's been a defensive coordinator. When you start talking about being an assistant, now we start seeing you're moving in the opposite direction. And not saying that we know that he wants to make it back to the head coaching ranks, but for minority coaches, you don't want to start working backwards if you ever do have a desire to make it back to, you know, being a head coach in this league, because we've already seen just historically and in the right now how difficult it can be for those type of candidates and coaches to ever get back and have another opportunity as a head coach. So that's my only thing, like I said, with Lovie, not knowing what he wants to do in terms of his future. But yeah, if all things were, you know, fine, then of course you would want him here, man.
Fish Momentum says Bob West is the OG voice of Barney.
Shout out to Bob West. You a big Bob West guy?
Don't know who he is at all, outside of he's the OG voice of Barney.
That's about where I was at with it too. Yep. I think he's cousins with Jerry West though. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a fact. Is it?
It's fact. It's random fact on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Justin Gordon, the Steelers and the Arthur Moats experience with Deke have hella fans in LA.
Yo, let's get
We
it.
deep out west.
Yo, shout out to the West Side. Man, y'all know it's major love when we go out to the West Side too, man. Deke, have we had a bad trip out west yet?
No.
It's been a vibe every time we done tapped out on that West Side, man. Nah, salute y'all out there, Justin. We appreciate the support from the heart, man.
Along the same lines of adding Lovie Smith, Let's Go UW says thoughts about adding Steve Wilkes to the staff. He would fit well with Tom if they bring him in. He's a proven guy.
The problem is he just got hired. He's the DC in San Fran now.
Okay.
Yeah, San Fran hired him. I love the pickup for Steve. Like I said, I've had a chance to play under him when I was out in Arizona. Spent some time with him and stuff like that. From a defensive standpoint, he knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows how to lead men. Handles adversity well. Yeah. Of course we would love him here on the staff because, like I said, he falls in lines when you talk about them Brian Flores type, you know, strong defensive minds that have been proven, that have had success, but at the same time, you feel like are capable of being a head coach in this league. I definitely think of Steve Wilkes in a similar capacity, man. So, yeah, man, but unfortunately, he is employed right now. Unfortunately, how about that?
John Pell questions if Michael Strahan should be playing Barney.
Like the pass rusher?
Yeah, because of the gap tooth.
Y'all silly, man. What is wrong with y'all?
Black and Yellow Texas Steel says, we in the Bible and we hitting push-ups all 2024.
Oh, okay. He on that prison workout.
So we
respect.
skipping 2023?
Respect. That's that lockup workout right there. I'm going to read this Bible in the morning. I'm going to hit these push-ups, sit-ups, and dips. Nah. But, man, walk this out, man. So if you're taking care of your body and you're taking care of your mind, man, no, I'm with you, man. And, you know, for you, it might be the Bible. For other people, it might be other books, other religious things. But whatever it is, man, as long as you feel good about it and you're not doing anything to hurt anyone else, that's all that matters, man. Salute.
I just wonder why he's skipping 2023.
Maybe he just wanted to fast pass it. He's like, you know what? I'm good on 2023. Let me get to the push-ups and Bible workout. Yeah.
Yeah, 2023, he's on that demon time. And he's going to switch to the Bible. Yeah, 2023, he's deviant. And he's just lazy, eating chips, McDonald's, fast food. 2024, when he hits the Bible and the push-ups.
Yeah, he's tapped it. He's like, I got to repent for all the damage I done.
It's like a bear hibernating.
Yeah.
It's like he's getting ready for 2024 by chilling a little bit here.
Hey, sometimes, man, you got to catch up with your karma. He's like, you know what, man, I done put a lot of negative out there. Let me do a whole 365 of good karma campaign. I can understand that, bro. I can.
Child of the Corn. Yo, fellas, what's good? Been a minute. Still salty. KC was gifted the Super Bowl. SMH. Moats digging the clear frames.
Oh, appreciate you.
You're going to see Scream 6 March 10th.
Man, nah, first I'll salute you, man. I appreciate you shouting out the glasses. Yeah, man, you know, every once in a while I like to tap, man. I had to treat myself, Deke. I was liking my other glasses, but I wanted to upgrade, and I'm kind of bougie. So I wanted to get a little bougier pair. But I do like these a lot. Shout out. And in terms of Scream 6, you better believe it. I have a dilemma, though. So the dilemma is this. I'm a big opening night movie guy. If I'm going to see a scary movie like Scream 6, I would love to go to the theater and see it. But at the same time, I'm going to have the whole family taking a trip in March. That is going to be right after this. And I kind of might want us to do it like on the trip as like a activity type thing. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it on the 10th. I might have to wait a week or two. That's the only thing, man. But no, I'm definitely going to tap in and check it out, though, man. Because, yeah, I love me some Scream, bro. Are you a Scream guy?
Nope, never seen him.
Any of them?
Nope.
I'll be right back. This is crazy. What's up? No, that's actually the parody. I'm sorry. You know?
Nah, never seen him.
What's your favorite scary movie? You ever had that?
Nope, never seen him.
Was that popcorn you making? Hello, Cindy. Yeah, none of that?
Not registering.
Dewey? What about Dewey? Dewey's the police. Oh, you know Dewey be always going in there. Bad stuff happened to Dewey. Dewey got murked last one, though. He got murked pretty rough, bro. Shout out to Dewey. R.I.P. Yeah.
Never seen him.
Gail? You don't know Gail? Oh, my God. It's Gail. Oh, my God. It's Gail. Oh, my, it's Gail Weathers right there, bro. You don't love Gail? Everybody love Gail, bro. That's crazy, bro.
No.
Dang. See, you might be the killer. That's how it all starts, man. Because there's rules to a serial killer movie. Do you realize that? It's rules to every serial killer movie. Yeah, but there's rules to it, though.
Scream.
Yeah, it's rules to it.
I thought it was like a spoof thing.
No. Scary Movie is the spoof. Scream is the real one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But it's rules to it, bro. Like, you can't say, I'll be right back. Because you'll never be right back. You never go anywhere alone in a scary movie, bro. And when you're watching a scary movie, look behind you. Because 9 times out of 10, the killer is right behind you while you're watching a scary movie. You're not paying attention, he's going to kill you, bro. This is all Scream, bro. These are factuals. These are actual factuals, man. Dang, dude, we got to get you out, bro. You got to check that out, man. That's a dope movie, too, bro.
Fisher Momentum says, Moats, you playing Barney in the sequel?
I'm good on the Barney vibe, bro. I am good.
Fisher Momentum also says, fun fact, Troy Polamalu is in the movie Moana.
That is true. That is definitely true.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. And The Rock is Maui. He's like this big buff dude, looks just like The Rock, but cartoon-wise. Yeah, he says, you're welcome.
Not surprised. He finds himself into pretty much any movie out there these days.
This is facts. They got a Fast and Furious coming out as well, and how did I think about it too, bro?
Any like mainstream movie, we'll put it that way.
He has a Fast and the Furious coming. No, he's not in this one though. Actually, it's Vin Diesel. I thought he was gonna be in this one as well. He's not in this one. But shout out to The Rock, because it made me think about the Fast and Furious.
Ryan McPherson, Moats, you do you. I'm just joking with you.
Let's ride.
Colton Choi Fu, aloha, my brothers.
Hey, aloha, man. I was just thinking about you too. I saw you the Hawaiian shirt you had sent us. Remember I was like, yo, it's Colton, man. Every time I see it, I think of you now, man.
Says Moats, could you take us through a typical day at work? Did you guys have to lift/cardio, meetings, and then practice every day?
Yeah, man. So let's talk about it. In season Monday, you're typically coming in. You're going to watch the game film. You're going to get a lift, light cardio, and any type of rehab, any type of ailments that you have. If you need to get x-rays, MRIs, they're going to get all that taken care of on Monday. After that, Tuesday is your mandatory off day, but you'll still come in most of the time, get your workout. Some players will meet with their coaches, try to get the game plan a little bit early. Others would go into the community. Tuesday was my big community day where I would go out and do different stuff from a philanthropic standpoint or just spend time with my family. Wednesday, you're lifting in the morning. You're in meetings from 8:20 first special teams meeting up until probably 1:50, 1:55. Practice usually 2:30 to around that 4 o'clock time frame. And then after that, man, you probably have meetings afterwards, and that'll be Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday are identical. Friday, same schedule but condense everything. So you're still starting on time, but you're going to get out of there about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock is no lunch period. Saturday, walk through. And it is literally that, a walk through. I know people try to make a big ordeal about the walk through and it was certain players that were absent, but it is literally a walk through. Your kids might be out there. You feel me? That's the vibe. But and then after that, man, Sunday game day, man. Get up there 2 hours before kickoff minimum. And, go out there and get ready to taste some blood and come back with somebody's head. So, yeah, that would be the vibe, man. But, it gets real repetitive at times, but it is a lot of fun because, you're chasing something that's special. You're doing something that a small amount of people are getting a chance to do, and you're rallying around your brothers through all the different stuff that goes on, even with guys like me and Deke criticizing them folk over there, man. But, yeah, it's a good time, though.
AJ Martinez says, shots fired, Deke. Going to take down Buffalo co-host. Say it isn't so, Moats. Laughing. Go 5-2.
Oh, whoa. We hit the 5 deuce on me? Whew.
Everyone talking about drafting another receiver. We already have a wide receiver 1 and 14. He is truly always open.
Let's go. Nah, man, I like GP, man. And trust me, man, I do feel like he does have bona fide wide receiver 1 potential all over him. We're just ready to see it come to fruition, man. Yeah, but definitely like what we seeing there. But that also is why we don't need to draft Jordan Addison. We don't need his talent here. We dope at receiver. We feel really good at receiver, man. Man, some might say we're set because we still got a young piece that we haven't even seen just yet, Calvin Austin. He's kind of like our extra draft pick this year.
Yeah, we'll be fine either way.
Yeah.
It's just...
You don't need Jordan. Yeah, let Jordan go somewhere else.
It's just when you have a chance to draft that connection from college.
Yeah,
you only get it one time.
But you got to leave college in college sometimes, man.
The Bengals didn't, so that's a good framework right there.
When they left, their final seasons were at the same university. I just think that Jordan would feel more comfortable putting on the color blue again.
I don't know about that.
He had his best season ever when he had the color blue on.
If you want to look at the same theme or similar theme through both of his college teams, there was a gold.
But more blue than gold. We would agree upon that, right?
I guess if you want to say he had 2 seasons at Pitt. But no, I think if he had his choice, I bet you if you asked Addison,
he probably would, yeah.
He would like to play with the Steelers and Kenny Pickett.
Well, no, because, you think about the element of him coming back to where he played college ball at. We know the reason why he left was more so just the opportunity, but not necessarily saying that he was more passionate about being out there.
Probably he saw a couple practices of Slovis or something, too, and was like, I got to get my ass out of here.
Because I think it would be different if Kenny was staying. But when you talk about you win the Biletnikoff and your quarterback is graduating, you got to ask yourself, do you want to stay here and potentially work with a quarterback that, regardless of how good Slovis was,
OC
we were going to look
too.
at him and say, he could potentially be a lesser version of Kenny. You talk about the OC leaving, all of those things kind of go into play. And then when you talk about the offer that he was getting to go to USC along with Caleb Williams, who won the Heisman, it's like, man, you go from the Heisman runner-up to he wasn't the runner-up, right? Yeah, Kenny.
No, Aiden Hutchinson somehow got second. But
all right. What a Heisman finalist then. Excuse me then. A Heisman finalist. He goes from that to the guy who actually won it this season. So once again, for Jordan, I can understand why he made the decision, but yeah, it would definitely not surprise me if he truly did want to come back to play with Kenny Pickett because that's his guy. When you play with a dude, man, you're going to have a bond, and it is different than anything else, but at the same time, new bonds can also be created. And I just think that he could create that magical type bond elsewhere.
Steeler Nation on
But
fire.
either way, he's going to be phenomenal. I'm excited for him.
Says Moats, take the girls to see Megan.
We already seen Megan, man. Megan was fire. We actually did go and see, did we see? Yeah, we saw that in theater as well. Yeah, Megan was straight though, man. It's iRobot-y though. It gives me that vibe. It gives me the why are we doing so much technology stuff? But it was a good movie though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I truly believe iRobot's predicting the future
Yeah,
for us.
yeah. Megan is just like another variation of that, and it's like, man, this is even creepier. Yeah, because at least iRobot, they look like robots.
iRobot should be a huge warning sign.
iRobot, they look like robots.
I don't think we're heeding that warning though.
I looked
we
at
clearly
Megan.
aren't.
Megan, imagine iRobot, but now instead of them looking like that, they look like American Girl doll. They look like regular, like life-size doll babies that you play with your children.
That's messed up.
They can adapt to your children. They adapt on the fly. Internet running around. You like, bro, what is this? Yeah, Until they start figuring out stuff they're not supposed to figure out, and they don't have the same logic and reasoning like us humans do. So yeah,
that's real messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Fisher Momentum, Moats and Deke, look up the new Barney.
All right.
Okay, I guess the old Barney did have teeth.
Is that the new one or is that the old one?
The new one, it's like a cartoon.
That's what say, y'all.
The new, it's a cartoon. That's what it is.
Okay.
I'd say it's kind of similar. The eyes are different. That's the main thing, and it's a cartoon.
I guess like the colors are a little more lively, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe the back. I think the background is at least. Yeah. I don't even see the buck tooth that he's talking about.
Yeah, me either. But I say he got pearly whites too.
Looks like no, I see it a little bit. I see it. I don't know if that's a smudge on the screen or not. I don't know. Black and Yellow Texas Steel says, following up, we halfway housing to be exact. LOL.
Oh,
and it's futuristic vibes
salute,
for 2024.
Hey, salute you on the halfway house gang, then, man. Respect.
Sean McCartney. Hey, Moats and Deke, I missed the last show and saw clips of Yins talking about Ramsey and Bradbury.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Jamel Dean or Byron Murphy?
No, I mean, both of those guys are very valuable options as well. I just think it's more so just picking what you're looking for in terms of the price point, because I think Ramsey and Bradbury are going to cost more than Jamel Dean and Brian Murphy. But at the same time, they cost more because they're a little bit more proven. But you can still work with a Jamel Dean and a Byron Murphy, man. Both of those dudes are still going to be really good. And if you're putting them in our system with our pass rush, you also have to remember that even some of the stuff that might not be as appealing, you're not going to deal with all of that as consistently because of the pass rush that we play with here. It forces that ball to come out faster. You're not able to extend plays as frequently as you would like to when our pass rush is doing what they're supposed to do. So I do think that could also benefit those two guys as well, man, and make them viable options that could be slightly cheaper as well.
Yeah, I like the Jamel Dean pickup.
Yeah.
He
threw me off when he said Jamal
bro.
Dean. I looked down. I was like, bro, it's not Jamal. It's Jamel. Yeah.
I picked him up in the franchise.
He's
him
good,
and
man.
Jonathan Jones
Yeah.
solidified my cornerback
Shout out to
room.
Jonathan Jones. Yeah, another good one. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Like, if we do Jamel Dean. I still want Cam Sutton back, though.
But see, I think if you did Dean, you could still do a Sutton with the Dean.
Probably could.
I don't think, because he's not going to cost the same level of like a Bradbury who, went on record, I think it was yesterday or day before, and was like, he's not going to, take a discount. He's trying to get as much as he can get after the season he just had, which makes sense. You took the 1 year, you bet on yourself, now go cash in that lottery ticket. And then the same with Ramsey. We know what his track record is, and we've seen what he's meant to the Rams in the short term and, the long term, what he was doing in Jacksonville. So that's why that premium costs more for him. But yeah, Dean, you can still cook with though, man, without a doubt.
He's probably going to get, what, like 10?
All right. He'll probably be the...
So, yeah, you could probably get him and Cam Sutton back for the
be...
same price. You could just... you'd
get
be
a
getting
Ramsey
for
for it.
Ramsey.
Mhm. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah. And like,
It's a way to organize it at least.
because one of the things is just like we're picking our poison. Do you want to put the 18 or 17 to 18 in one player that we think can do all of this? Or do we want to put it in and split it between two guys who can do some of this and some of that? But when you put them together, we feel better about the cornerback room as a whole, even though we don't feel like we have necessarily a guy that can just take out whoever we face. But you can win with either way, though.
Yeah. Dennis, about what do you guys think about getting Connor Hayward more involved in the offense, run and pass?
Oh, I would love it. And we started to see that more towards the end of the season. I think it's just an easier read for Kenny Pickett because Connor is winning across the middle of the field. So when you're talking about watching him work the seams or watching him work the middle of the field, it's just naturally going to be more spacing in that part of the that particular area of the defense at times. And because it's Connor Hayward versus a true traditional slot receiver, you're able to keep defenses in bigger body personnel groupings. That also helps out because Connor has shown that he could be a little bit of a mismatch to linebackers. So as long as he can keep doing that and eventually develop to where he could, I don't know if he's capable of it just yet, but if he could develop to where he even gives safeties some issues, now you're really cooking with grease because we know he can block. And you're trying to create the mismatch. So when teams play base personnel versus him, the check is we're going to throw it. When teams eventually start to play smaller ball because he's routing guys up, that'll be when you start to check out of that thing and start to play the bully ball and run it. But it's really going to be, can he evolve into that? We've seen some of that with Pat Freiermuth already, but Pat is just one guy. When you can start doing it with 12 personnel per se, where you're like, man, we got Najee out here, Connor Hayward, and Pat Freiermuth, or even 13 personnel, throwing Zach Gentry to extra protect. And now you force a team to really play big personnel. In Connor Hayward, you split him out and allow him to really work a one-on-one route in that slot area. I think that could be magical as well. And we also know that we use him as the move guy behind the line of scrimmage because Pat and Gentry can play the point in terms of being the end man on the line of scrimmage with the hand down. So, yeah, man, I'm all for Connor getting more opportunities.
AJ Martinez says cut Deontay for sure. Sir drops a lot.
Hey, man, cut him. I got a home for him.
We ain't cutting him.
Trade him. I got a home for him.
I'm not necessarily for trading him, but if we do, it's got to be to draft Jordan Addison. That's the only way.
That's cool.
I'd be
I
okay
got a
with
pick
it.
for him. I got a pick for him.
But no, I'm completely fine with keeping Deontay on the roster. I still think he's a good receiver. It's just I prefer him to not drop some of the easy routes, the easy drag passes and stuff like that. He'll catch some of the incredible ones, but there's just some ones that slip through. You're like, come on, dude.
That is how it goes at times, man, and that is never a good thing. But as I was saying, man, if you're looking to potentially move him or anything like that, man, I might know some people, might know a place.
What you giving up?
I mean, what you want? You want a first round, right? Let me see. Could I entice you with the
You trading us a first rounder for Deontay?
Yeah. Wait.
So that's the 24 pick.
Yes.
I'll do that. I will do that.
That'll work
right now. If you want to be the representative, for the Bills
that'll
here,
work. Yeah.
Call it into the offices.
Yeah. Hey, we could do that now. If you're trying to do it, we could do that.
If you
man.
can give me Omar Khan's
You know
number
what I'm saying?
somehow,
Hey,
I will call him.
give
You
his
call
number.
your people up in Buffalo.
Man, I'll text your number right now. You want them right now? You
What
know
I'm
I
saying
got the
is,
number.
yeah,
You know
we
I got
are
the number.
kind of the extensions
That's
for the
what I'm saying,
organization
bro.
right here,
We
making
can
this
bridge
deal.
the gap.
So I'll
We
call
can
Omar
bridge
Khan.
the gap.
Listen, Bills are interested
Yes.
in trading a first rounder
Mhm.
to Deontay Johnson.
Yes.
If the offer comes through, take it,
Yes.
and we'll draft Jordan Addison at 17 or 24, whatever.
There you go, man.
Replace him, and then we
Yeah.
still got all of our other picks that we had anyway.
And I think it's
Lessens
a fair
the blow
trade,
on the
man.
cap hits a little bit.
I think
too.
it's a fair trade.
That's a fair
Buffalo,
trade.
you're gonna get a proven commodity, a guaranteed bona fide number one, a guy that's gonna flourish playing opposite of Stephon Diggs with a quarterback like Josh Allen. I think Deontay would love it. I do.
Let's make the move.
I think we should
Call
make
it
the
into
move,
the
bro.
front offices.
I make the move, bro. I make some phone calls, bro.
Call whoever you know up in Buffalo. Like
Well,
I said,
bro, listen, we gonna call GM to GM. We just go do that. While we waiting.
we just brokered a
Bro,
deal
we-
on the podcast.
We got the deal done. Y'all heard it first here. The deal is done. Deontay to the Buffalo Bills for a first round pick. That's
this year's
simple.
first round.
This year's first round. Take that little 24. You got that. You got that. You take, you bring your Jordan Addison. We take the Deontay up there and everything be good, man. I think it's a good move for both sides, though. Because, like you said, for here in Pittsburgh, man, you're going to get a chance to get Jordan Addison. Hopefully it works out.
We'll just draft another receiver, too, maybe in the third round. Him and Calvin Austin could compete for
let
wide
them
receiver
dudes
3.
go ahead. And if you don't want Calvin, you send him out there, too.
We ain't doing that.
Wow, that's crazy. You don't even like Calvin like that.
Well, what you giving me? You giving me a second-round pick for him?
No, you don't even like him. You might as well, I'm wait till you cut him. You don't like that, man?
We're not cutting Calvin
Well,
Austin.
we'll send a fourth for him then. Actually,
I'm not doing that.
Damaged goods, we'll give you a fifth for him.
No,
you said you're going to draft a third anyways. You said you're going to draft another receiver anyways. That's what you just said.
It's just for security purposes.
So you take that third, and then we'll take the Calvin. It's like the can that dropped. He dropped the can, so it looked a little dented, but we like that.
I need a second-round pick
that.
for Calvin Austin.
Absolutely not. What?
All right, we'll keep him.
What? I need a second-round pick for him. Heck no, man.
So, yeah, we'll go Pickens, Addison, Calvin Austin. We'll draft another receiver. Hey, we might even draft
how many receivers
another receiver in the second round.
When you draft offensive line, so you just going to neglect Kenny all the way.
Oh, dude.
You neglecting corner, too?
With those picks right there, we have four picks in the top 50 with that trade.
You didn't name
so we could still draft.
receivers?
We could still draft Gonzalez, and we could draft, offensive lineman in the second round, like Broderick Jones or something.
Bro, I love how your mind be working, man. You just be pulling them all. Hey, I'm gonna get that one, get that one. All right,
Jordan. All right, let's just say we have those 4 picks. We go Jordan Addison at 17, just to make sure we get him.
Okay.
And we get one of the 3 cornerbacks in like a Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., Gonzalez at that 24.
Okay.
Then we also have 32.
Okay.
Let's take a lineman there, left tackle, Broderick Jones.
Like you said, and this is account for everything lining perfect with the draft, correct?
And then, I mean, you're going to have options, though.
Yeah, I'm with you on
You're
that.
going to have
I'm with
some
you.
type of left tackle there. You're going to have one of those 3 cornerbacks there, probably at 24. And then the second pick in the second round, it's just dealer's choice. We want an extra receiver.
I'm with you, man.
You want to get an inside linebacker? You want defensive tackle?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one you going with?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to be available at that point. But I think that's the priority. Maybe you could go Ika at 32.
Yeah.
And then you take left tackle in the second round, whoever would be there potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a great draft. And then you have third rounder. We're usually money in the third round with receivers, so maybe that's when we'll take the extra receiver.
All right.
Have them duke it out with Calvin Johnson for wide receiver 3.
Man, like I said, send Calvin up there. You don't need Calvin.
No, I'm not doing that.
We don't even like Calvin like that. Yeah.
No. He's got that speed.
But you don't like his speed.
He's got that element that
he
not a lot of receivers have.
Remember he had surgery, so
he'll be ready.
How you know? I'm just saying, man. He might have been
full
in the
off season. He had a good connection going with the quarterbacks in training camp. From all accounts, he was blazing fast. He took like a screen to the house. And what did he say in the interview afterwards? I didn't even put on the afterburners yet.
Yeah, it wasn't like a couple practices after that when it was just like that was it.
He got hurt.
Yeah, that was it. Yep. I'm excited though.
But yeah, if you want to throw up that trade.
Oh no, before a fact though,
up to the Bills.
For a fact, yeah. Give me. You already know how I roll. Give me proven over draft picks any day, bro. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, what's next now?
We are caught up. So yeah, man, let's tap into this first topic. Because we did get the final NFL power rankings for the 2022 season now that the season is officially over. And I just felt like, man, it's one of those things that just to put a bow on last season, man, let's just see how they had us ranked at this thing, man. It is always funny, too. I feel like when we're doing well, we be looking at this stuff a lot more during the season. When we not so hot, though, we just be like, yo, we don't even care about them power rankings like that. But since we did finish hot, we're going to look, we're going to check them out.
Yeah, I could care less about the power rankings.
We're going to check them out.
How they were grading Pickett throughout the season. Because there was just a lot of disrespect being thrown out there. People that weren't watching the game.
You know that's why I stopped I ain't even break it up during this. I'm like, nope, we ain't going to do that. No, because we already know their energy. But now that the season's over, oh, man, they singing a whole nother tune. So we definitely go tap into that one there and see what they got to say about us. So let's do it.
So you may go through, these are NFL.com power rankings.
Yes.
Post Super Bowl. Number 1, they have Kansas City Chiefs. No surprise.
A little bit of a surprise. That's a little bit of a surprise right there. You not surprised by that?
Can't say so.
I didn't think Kansas City was even like that, man. What you mean?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if PFF, if they did these rankings, they somehow put the Eagles up there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they would do something.
Eagles graded better as a team versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They graded better.
They on average they scored a 98.6 overall PFF rating. We had the Chiefs at an 82. You like, bro, how did you come with the Mahomes? You know they graded Mahomes. He was like an 83 in the game. I don't know if you realized that. Hurts was a 98.5 though. Or actually, I'm saying it backwards because it would be the ones that looks obvious, and they'd be like, oh no, that wasn't that great of a performance, and then it'd be the ones that didn't look great. They'd be like, oh yeah, man, this guy off the charts.
If there was no wins and
charts,
losses
yeah,
accounted for in that game, I would say Hurts had the better game than Mahomes.
I would agree, but unfortunately, or fortunately, wins and losses are part of that thing, and on that particular game, man, that's the biggest stage, baby. You know that.
Eagles at 2, Bengals at 3, Niners at 4, Bills at 5, Cowboys at 6. Wow. At 7, they have the Jaguars.
Really say Cowboys at 6.
8
bro.
Chargers,
What?
9 Lions, 10 Vikings,
Shout out to the Captain Kirks. Let's go.
11 Ravens, 12 Packers.
Huh?
Team that missed the playoffs.
Make that
went
make
8 and
sense,
9.
yeah.
Over us, we are at 13 and at 9 and 8. And then after us, a couple teams, they got the Giants at 10, 8 and 1. Dolphins at 9 and 9, 15. And then Jets at 16, 7 and 10, and I'll say one more, Patriots at 17.
Where's the rest of? Oh, there we go. Cleveland Browns, 21st up here. I think they were the last.
Seahawks
ones
at
in
18, 9 and 9.
Yeah. So they have us essentially third in the division.
They have us above some playoff teams.
Yeah, I mean
Giants, Dolphins, and Seahawks.
13th. So top half of the NFL is essentially where they have us at with that. Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
The write up on there, could you read that?
Sure.
Yeah, just hear their thought process behind this thing.
They say the Steelers closed strong in 2022. Could a successful offseason make them contenders in the AFC North? Of course. The clearest path to a true Pittsburgh resurgence is building around Kenny Pickett, who won 6 of his final 8 starts as a rookie. The most obvious area of need is the offensive line, leaking for several years dating back to Ben Roethlisberger's final seasons with the team. Better protection. Well, that goes hand in hand with the sabotage right there.
Let's go.
This is just an NFL.com analyst or writer saying that too.
Yeah. So it had to be real if he noticed it, huh?
It's common knowledge, yeah. Better protection could mean big things, not just for the quarterback, but also running back Najee and wide receivers Deontay and George Pickens.
I like the write-up. I like the assessment. I think that it is accurate. The way that we were able to finish the game or finish the season, that's why both of us were so optimistic down the stretch, even when people looked at us like we were crazy. But you can see, now that the season is over and we can look at the full body of work and look at that full second half of the season, there is a lot to be optimistic about. There is a lot to feel positive about. And a lot of it does revolve around Kenny Pickett because of how he was able to finish the season. I do agree with the protection element. I would like to upgrade it, but obviously that's part of why we're going through all these different options for the first round of who will we bring in. Do you go wide receiver? Do you go corner? Do you go D-line? Do you go O-line? But these are all the things that we're going to continue to talk about with the amount of picks that we have early on as well. We're going to get something that's going to be able to help us out even more to legitimately make us not be the people that we're saying, hey, what if we got in? We're going to get a chance next year to be like, hey, we're in this thing now. Let's see what we can do. And that's something that, like I said, I think we should definitely feel good about, man.
Where should we be?
As I look at this list, I don't feel like we're ahead of Green Bay. Detroit, that's interesting as well for them to be 9. I love how they finished the season. I still kind of feel like they rode their hype a little bit harder. I would like us, though. I would like to have seen them. I think we get them. Baltimore, if it's with Lamar, yes, they could be ahead. But without Lamar, I'm like, I don't see why you have them at 11. And when I'm thinking about them right now, there's still a lot of uncertainty with this team right now. Whether we're talking about the Lamar Jackson situation contract-wise, whether we're talking about the offensive coordinator situation where they're transitioning from Greg Roman, to me, I don't think that with that type of uncertainty, they're better than us. They should be ranked ahead of us, especially based on the way that we finished the season as well. Now, granted, they did go into the postseason, and granted, with their Pro Bowl quarterback, they were a fumble at the goal line away from knocking off.
It's just how the Ravens play. It's
The
going to be a
Cincinnati
gross
Bengals.
game. It's going to be dirty,
Yes.
and it's going to be close.
Yeah, that's their game. But to me, I still take us over them if that's what we're referring to. Even with their Pro Bowl quarterback, I take Kenny over their Pro Bowl quarterback. I just
We
wanna let
beat
you know
them
that.
in
Come
Week
on now.
17.
Absolutely. But that's, like I
On
said,
the
that
road.
would be my grievance with their situation. If Lamar is there and the OC situation is solidified, I think it's a different conversation. But right now, that is not the case. Right now, there's a lot of question marks surrounding them. So I would have us ahead of them. After that, like I said, I guess we'll be the 10th team, so to speak, because I think I have Detroit, Baltimore, and Green Bay. I have us ahead of those three. Minnesota, I can't put us ahead personally. Chargers the same. Jacksonville. Yeah. I saw. Whoa! Why you stopping on that on the number 5 team? What's your deal, bro?
I make a case we could be as high as 5 with how we finished that season.
Whoa! Easy, killer, easy.
I make a case we'd be as high as 5.
What did 5 say then? You don't want to read the 5th right up. What the 5th right up say? Plead the 5th in one time. What the 5th one say? Huh? You see what
team
the 5th
that's
one
at
said?
5 is
You
the
see what
Bills.
the 5th one said? You see what that write up said? You better chill, man. Don't leave that one alone. Leave that one alone. That's a real one right there. Leave that one alone.
I think Steelers could be that high. Just with how we finished the season, how we were playing. Like, I would take us up against any of these. I mean, any of the teams. I get it.
No, we were going to be
in
competitive.
general.
We were going to be
in general,
competitive
because
against
I could
any of
I
them.
could even
Yeah.
say like late in the season, I would have
Yeah.
liked to seen us versus the Chiefs.
No, without a doubt.
But
That's
obviously,
the
how they were
conversation.
still playing, how the Chiefs, Bengals, Niners, those teams that made the
Yeah.
conference finals, they were playing on a good level still.
Yeah.
But I think so were the Steelers. It's just
That's the thing.
unfortunate we didn't make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
So, like, whenever you stack up the Steelers to the Bills and how the Bills finished the
Yeah.
season, the Cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Vikings.
How many
like,
of those teams won a playoff game in that conversation?
Yeah.
Buffalo, you said Jacksonville, they won one. Vikings did not. Cowboys won
Cowboys
one.
did. Yeah.
So that's what, 3 of those teams?
I just really would have liked to see
And
what
the
we look
Chargers,
like
I mean,
in the
Chargers had a
playoffs.
heck of a jump out, but then obviously we know how that ended. And the same with Baltimore. No, but that's the thing, though. And I mean, we talked about that even when the playoffs started. We said we would love to see us against any of those teams because we should not have been fearful of any of them. Now, I don't want you to get that twisted either when we talk about a Buffalo or any of these other teams. And when I speak with a little bit more confidence around them, that doesn't mean it's some blowout. That doesn't mean it's some game where there isn't back and forth. I just personally think that the talent that they have and where they're at in terms of their progression of where they're developing, I just think they're further ahead. But we talked about that in terms of our players here versus Philly and Kansas City and how they're a little bit further in terms of just this progression right now. So that's the thing. But the way that we were playing and the style in which we play is going to put us in every single game, just like the Baltimore Ravens. We play very similar to them. We're just different in terms of the optics of how we utilize it. But the name of the game for both of our teams, ball control, big defense, don't commit the self-inflicted turnover, and we're going to be found on special teams. That's how both of those teams like to operate. So with that method, you're going to compete with any of those teams, any of them. But the question is, can you be perfect for 4 quarters and repeat process through a playoff scenario? Because that's what it becomes, as we saw with the Eagles versus the Chiefs. The method works. That's the same method that we implement. But we saw where the Eagles had 3 mistakes in that game, essentially, and that being the difference. So that's the question for us, and that's what we're going to get a chance to see hopefully this season, is when we're in those moments, can we not make the critical error? Can we execute under pressure? Because this team hasn't felt that postseason pressure just yet. It's still a difference. We created the illusion of pressure with the postseason or with the end of the season, how we were finishing it, but it is still a very drastic difference when you are in that postseason and it is literally do or die. It's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of speed that comes with it. It's a different type of intensity that comes with it. And no matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much you try to replicate it, it never feels like it until you're in that scenario. And each week it just gets ratcheted up more and more. And that's one of those things, like I said, I can't wait to see how we respond in those moments. But that's something that we have to wait to see, though.
No matter how well you spin it,
Yeah.
like if you have them as high as me as a top 5 team with how the season ended, or you saying top 10, no matter what, like in that
They're
range,
in that
or
range,
even
bro.
like even if you're really down on them, but still have them in like the top 12.
I think the lowest I
NFL.com's
would have them is
13.
like 14, 15 is the absolute lowest I could go.
No matter how you want to spin it, remember this was supposed to be this like rebuilding season, this down season. What's it gonna be like without Big Ben?
Technically,
and
it was
how
a rebuild.
And how we finished the season, in my opinion, was just as good as any of these other top teams. We just screwed ourselves way too early in the season. Now, going into 2023, I feel like our expectations are right back where they should be. Standard playoff run.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this ranking, they have us
That's
ranked.
a testament to Tomlin. That's a testament to just who we are as the Steelers and the Steelers organization.
No, I agree 100%. They even have us rated above 2 teams that were in the playoffs, 1 team that won a playoff game. We're ahead of the New York Giants. Think about that, man. The Giants, they went and beat a Minnesota Vikings team that was extremely hot, that was competing to be the number 1 seed. They did that. We talk about the Miami Dolphins. We said, man, even with the backup quarterback, they pushed Buffalo to the limit. And when you think about what the Miami Dolphins were able to do this season, we faced them head to head. We felt like we should have got up out of there. We had the self-inflicted mistakes that, allowed them to get up out of that stadium. But I do feel like we're better than those type of teams right there. And those are playoff teams. Those are teams that are feeling very optimistic about what they have going on. So it is truly a testament to where we are as an organization and why you don't panic. Why you don't make erratic, irrational moves just because you're starting out a little bit slow. You trust the process, because that is where we've seen the proof being truly in the pudding here in Pittsburgh.
Serious question.
What's up, baby?
How do you feel if you're a Dolphins fan right now?
I'm
actually not feeling good.
The big question mark
if you
is
bring him
Tua.
back Tua.
That's the big question mark. If you believe that he's completely recovered from the concussions, you're fine, because you look at how the season started and you say, man, we were cooking, we were beating teams. Now we were going to have questions regardless in terms of the validity of him winning early in the season. But I thought that he was doing enough that if you were a Dolphins fan, you had to be excited because you hadn't seen it look like that for a while. But I think the big question surrounds, what's his health like? Is this something that he's going to deal with for the rest of his career? Is he going to now have a higher probability of concussions? When he has a head injury, is it going to take him longer to recover? We saw how long it took for him to finally get cleared from that last concussion he had. It was months. It was a wow. We're like, bro, this is crazy. We thought that he was already back. And it's like, no, he literally just got cleared from this thing. So that's the part. If I'm a fan of the Dolphins, I'm strongly concerned about that. If you're the Dolphins, though, are you drafting a quarterback?
I mean, if I was them, I would have tried to talk Tom Brady into coming over. What else is out there right now, though? They already committed to Tua.
So are you drafting a quarterback?
They're drafting later. Do they even have a draft pick?
Not in the first.
I think they lost one, right?
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing with the owner.
Yeah.
You could draft. It's going to be the backup. You're not drafting one of those top 3 guys, presumably. Especially if you don't have a pick in the first round.
Yeah. You signing something to free agent, maybe?
Damn, because
that's a tough spot to be in.
I'd go for the Whales.
That's
why I brought up Tom Brady,
bro.
but
That's a tough spot.
I don't even think they're being linked to Aaron Rodgers right now.
And how do you move on from Tua when you're the reason he's in this situation right now? That's the other part of this thing, bro.
I feel like Brady was their out. They could have sold it if it was Brady.
I'm just like, bro, this is
I don't know if you could sell it if it's
right
Derek
now,
Carr,
man.
because Tua technically,
he was
unless you were watching the games, Tua technically had a better season than Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him as a quarterback over Derek Carr, but you saw his stats. I mean, he was doing some decent things at times. But
he could hit some slants.
He was doing
he could
some
hit some
Tua
open
type of
receivers,
things
and the
at other
receivers
times.
could take off. Yeah. We
and
talked
defensive
about that as
backs, for whatever reason.
They forgot
particularly
how to
in
tackle.
our game, we dropped 4 interceptions.
That also
so that's
happened.
not showing up
Yes.
on the stat sheet.
I would agree.
I'm feeling awful if you're a Dolphins fan. But they like Tua down there.
They do.
They think he's like their savior.
Because they haven't had anything nice for a while. What was the last one they had?
Tannehill.
And that wasn't even the Tennessee version.
Right. He wasn't good.
Nah, this was the one that was like erratic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really haven't had much since Dan Marino. They had that little run with Pennington
You had
for a year.
Chad Henne down there for a little bit. Yeah, Pennington did have. It was somebody else who was down there.
He won like comeback player of the year.
Yeah, man. Like, and I think Henne had success when they started doing the Wildcat. So it wasn't even him being the guy. It was more so the Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams element of it.
Yeah, I think they have to go with him.
I
think they're gonna have to.
rough situation, man. Because I'm thinking of just like
Carr, Rogers, Jimmy G. These are the quarterbacks that.
But all of
gonna be
those
available.
names, all of those names are competition directly to Tua. I think it's almost like the Kenny Pickett thing.
Rogers
like-
is a step up.
No. What I mean is this: not they're on the same playing field. I'm saying in the sense of, you know how we say Kenny's our quarterback here. So we wouldn't bring in a Derek Carr because that's going to automatically look like competition for Kenny. We wouldn't bring in a Aaron Rodgers because that's going to look like competition or a bona fide upgrade, right? Or however they want to spend it. When you think about how they look at Tua, they're committed to Tua. They moved on from Flores for Tua. They moved on from all these guys for Tua. They done went on record after all the concussion, all the other stuff. Tua's our quarterback. I don't think you could bring in
You're just getting rid of Tua at that point.
I don't think you could bring in
You're
any of
swapping.
those caliber guys because that's what Derek Carr going down there. The message is he's coming to compete with Tua, or behind the scenes, we think he's the guy. When you talk,
Yeah, I think you're trading him. I
Yeah.
think you're trading him, right? If
Right.
you're bringing in a Carr, or
I
any
would
of
think
those
it would
guys.
have to be like that second tier when we talk the Mitch Trubisky.
That's what people are bringing up in the chat. Could that be a potential trade partner?
What's the other cat that was Case Keenum? He's another guy. Like I think of like that tier of quarterback you could bring down there, high end insurance, high end luxury, but Tua is
Baker.
still technically the guy. Baker. If I'm Baker, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, bro, Tua, I'm either making on the talent not working or the head injury coming back. But either way, I like that. If I'm Baker, in terms of getting an opportunity to play, because you're going to be playing with a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle. So you're going to
and that's
put
that
up
West
numbers.
Coast system.
Yeah, by
Daniel,
by the scheme
McVay
itself,
type
you're
of stuff.
going to put up numbers in it. Yeah. They play action you. They got a running game. They got defense over there. Yeah. Mitch would be nice down there, bro.
Yeah, that could make sense. I saw something on Twitter that Saints could be looking at Baker for this upcoming season. And I'm like, listen.
Baker, I don't
If
like
Baker's
that for him,
actually
bro.
getting
I don't like that
considered-
for Baker.
as a starting quarterback by one of these teams, or at least maybe given the opportunity to compete for a starting job, then Mitch should have a market.
He will. He will have a market. But the problem is, Mitch is, he's technically under contract. Technically.
Are we going to hear from him? Is he going to make it known he wants out?
That could change things. But right now, he's under contract. And we haven't had like a hard public stance from him just yet, outside of just I regret choosing as fast as I chose. But yeah, still not a lot with him.
Anything else with these rankings?
Nah, man. But I do think it was appropriate, though, that they did show us some respect in contrast to the first half of the season where they were writing our eulogy. So I do like that. And it is also good to just see at the end of the season, man, once it's all said and done, to just truly see how we stacked up and truly see now with the season being finalized and all the storylines written for 2022, why we feel optimistic and is not on some homer extra bias or blind faith type stuff.
And I still think
tangible.
this is low, but they
Yeah.
got us over playoff teams.
Right. But it's like, it's legitimate. It's tangible. You think they're low. I think they're low. And like you said, they even have them ahead of playoff teams, even with that being the thought process. So I guess I definitely like that for us, man.
What we got next? Super
All
chat.
right. Yeah, let's tap in and see what supers we have on. And after that, man, we'll go to that next topic.
All right, we got a few here.
Okay. Oh, hit that like button one time for the culture as well. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And yeah, have a good time.
Sean McCartney says, I'd like for us to go O-line in the first or second pick.
Okay.
But if we can't get any of the top prospects, do we still draft or go to trade/free agency? It's tough because the free agency is before the draft.
Yeah. So when you wait till, and remember, we said this like multiple times for free agency. You got the first wave, which is prior to the draft. You have that second wave where it's post draft. That's where Edmonds ended up signing back. Remember, draft went through. We're like, all right, cool. We seen how everything laid out. We ended up bringing him back on a cheaper deal. Then you have that third wave of free agency, which is typically right before the season starts when the final cuts have been made on rosters. That's typically when you have that final wave, and that's how we caught a Joe Hayden. So it can work post-draft, but you have to understand the market is going to be a little bit different post-draft. You're not getting that first cut. You're getting that second cut. They're a little bit different. Some of them are still very talented, but typically with that second wave in free agency, it's just a couple of question marks here or there. That third wave, it's even more question marks. You're saying, why is this guy available at this time of year? But like I said, either way, you can definitely find some talented players to offset some of the draft misses potentially.
Let's go UW. Speaking of the Ratbirds, there are rumors of them shopping Patrick Queen. Depending on what they'd want, I'd make an offer.
Man, you already know how I feel about Patrick Queen. Yeah, if he was available like that, I would love it. But I don't know. You know?
We're paying a premium.
Absolutely, especially because it's us and it's Baltimore and it's
a linebacker too.
Yeah, that's gonna cost, man. That's gonna cost. Yeah.
You know why these trade rumors are coming up?
What did he do?
Patrick Queen scrubs Baltimore from social media.
Oh my god. Why are we like this now?
That's
bro?
how you do it.
Like, I can't stand it. Ay. Shout out to the scrubbing of said social media to start this here rumor. I like it though.
It makes sense with his timeline though. Isn't he the same class as Alex Highsmith? So like this is his time for a contract
because he wants to
extension.
get paid early, but the problem is they just paid Roquan Smith. So, yeah. We got to see how that.
Do you think this is the Roquan Smith trade and everything? Do you think that's a, hey, we're picking this dude over you?
To an extent, yeah. But I don't think it's the wrong decision. And deep down in Patrick Queen's heart, he doesn't think it's the wrong decision. But you still want to get paid. And that's the other dynamic. You can still acknowledge that, yes, this player is better than me or this player is more productive. Because it's rare when you're playing, it's rare that you really feel like a player is better than you. You just feel like he's getting better opportunities. Or he's just happened to be more productive this season, but you rarely feel like a guy is truly better than you. Just because that's how you're wired. You've had to be like that for your whole life on the field, so when you get here, it's not going to change. But for Patrick, man, I could definitely understand why he would feel some type of way, but you just got to be careful with that. Number one, I think of the Lamar Jackson situation and how he's handling his contract negotiations. Patrick Queen, you're not Lamar, so you also have to take into account Lamar can play hardball. Lamar can do certain things. You're not him right now. So you have to understand that they don't look at you like we can't do this without you. They've shown you that we feel like we can do this without you because we just paid this guy that's next to you $100 million in terms of Roquan
We could
Smith.
just draft another talented guy in the second or third round.
Yeah. And that's what he has to understand. But it hurts your feelings, though, man. When it's your first time, because this is his first time going through negotiations, it hurts your feelings. It always does. Because it's the first time that organization has told you something other than we love you, you're the greatest. When it gets to contract negotiations, that's the first time that organization will really say something like critical and negative about your game. And you're like, bro, what? That's how you been feeling? Well, why you ain't say that earlier then, bro? Man, I'd have smack your ball head. No, I'm playing. But that's the vibe you feel at times. So I can understand Patrick Queen maybe feeling a certain way, man.
What's the possibilities of him coming to Pittsburgh? How does this even work?
Bro, it's gonna take two.
What's
first.
his contract?
They would make us have to give them like multiple something stupid because it's us and it's them and they know the position that we need on top of it. Can we switch them? We'll get him Devin Bush and we'll take Roquan and we'll pay him.
Yeah, I just don't even know if it makes sense. So he's in the line of like a Tremaine Edmonds type where $10 million he's probably looking for.
Put it like this. He probably wants that. I wouldn't pay him that right now, but I think he'd be worth it in a year. Because Edmonds versus him, in terms of Tremaine is a big, massive body, and he's super productive. He can run, he can cover, but he's different in terms of how he's utilized versus Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, man, they'll blitz him a lot more frequently, whereas in Buffalo's defense with Leslie Frazier, Tremaine was more so rocking over the middle of the field and just reading routes or running the middle with Tampa too, versus them actually like allowing him to play man or really blitzing him like that, even though he was productive in his role. Whereas Patrick Queen, we saw like he was one of their main guys on third down. Him and Roquan Smith, they're going to walk in those A gaps and they're either blitzing or dropping into coverage. And we even witnessed firsthand how capable he is when he's taking on that role. I just think that I think that Patrick is an easier fit in today's NFL, whereas for Tremaine, because of how big he is, you're not going to do a ton of like wacky stuff with him. You have to be like, you know what, 3-4, he's my inside linebacker, and that's why I'm playing him. Or 4-3, he's my Mike, that's why I'm playing him. Whereas for Patrick Queen, you could play him in a 3-4. He's a little undersized for the 3-4 to be uncovered, but he still can get it done if you got the right pieces around him, which I feel like we will. You could put him in a 4-3. He's athletic and rangy enough that he can, play the Will or the Sam as well. So, and shoot, you could do bump into the Mike in a 4-3. He could play like that. I just think he has more positional flexibility. So, payment-wise, you would, if you really loved him and it was a bidding war, you would probably pay a little bit more because you feel like his game can age better. Whereas with Edmonds, he's more productive right now, but I don't think that you're looking at him and saying, man, yeah, I could do this and this and this with that. I think that is more like he's this version and this is what we're going to get from him, but just different in terms of the styles. Both are really good. Both are productive, but just different in terms of like how they play the position.
Yeah, because the reason I bring it up is we have been legitimately talking about bringing in a middle linebacker to pair with Miles Jack. So could that be a Patrick Queen? It's just if this trade happens, it's between the Ravens. You're probably paying a premium, and you're
going to
probably
overpay because it's them, man.
Paying something you don't even really want to pay, or just giving up assets because you have free agent linebackers right now. It's like, why am I giving up like a second-round pick for someone and paying him when I could maybe just sign Levante David in free agency and not have to give up any picks?
Yeah, and that's the thing. But with the Levante David, different approach, right?
Older,
more proven,
you're thinking 1 or 2 year deal. Yeah.
With Patrick Queen, you're saying this guy's about to step into his prime. Once he fully gets this thing buttoned up and figured out, that can be special. But this also just goes to show you when we talk about how tough it is to play in this league, Patrick Queen is not a late round pick. Patrick Queen's an early round pick who was highly talented.
He's a good player.
A heck of a player. But when you talk about that of, hey, are we paying this? Is this to that point where it's a force multiplier where beyond reasonable doubt we feel that confident in it? Baltimore doesn't all the way feel like that. And that's a part of it, man. And it's like, dang, it's crazy to think because Patrick, I'm a fan of his game. But at the same time, I can understand why Baltimore wouldn't want to just shell out $10 million to him right now.
Especially if you got to worry about this Lamar contract.
Absolutely. Because I'm saying to myself, can I still win a Super Bowl if it's Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith, but I don't got Lamar? Can I still get it done, or do I need to keep Lamar, do whatever I need to do to keep him here, and I'll draft something in the second or third round to replace Patrick Queen, pair him with Roquan Smith? That's the reality of it, man.
Yeah. Sean McCartney, I'm excited for the draft, but also excited to see what we do in the offseason before and after the draft. Fingers crossed for Omar Khan.
Nah, salute, man. I'm excited to see it as well,
This is his first solo mission.
From start to finish, man. I'm excited. I think he's going to handle it well, though.
For sure. Samurai Finn, if we aren't looking to draft Addison with our first pick for the upside, would it make sense to trade back since there are several positions to address?
I mean, the trade back element is always on the table when you're talking about just acquiring more draft capital. But
if you could somehow get an additional second in a trade back?
Yeah. I just think it's one of those things that I always want to remind us. More picks, yes. But the later you move back, the player. Pros and cons are just slightly different. When you're talking first round, usually you just feel a lot more confident in the player that you're getting. You're more confident in the return on the investment. Whereas when you start talking second round, it's not always a guarantee. Or the chances of it producing the way that we anticipated, it just goes down a little bit. And the later you go in this thing, the lower and lower those odds get. So we just got to take that into account. If we're bringing in guys and we're asking them to be starters for us, how fast are we looking for them to take on that role? If you're bringing him in the first round, he's more than likely going to be up to speed enough that he can come in here and be our day one type of guy. When you start bringing in seconds and third rounders, it's not always a guarantee that each and every one of them are going to be able to come in here, be pro ready, and give us not just starter minutes, but starter level productivity. So that's the only thing that when we talk trading back, it always makes me just a little leery when we're talking about trying to bring in starters, because when we're talking our cornerback position, the guy that we drafted more than likely is going to be a starter for us. When we're looking at the D-line, depending on what we do with Larry and Cam Hayward, that guy could be a starter for us. I know TG said they're going to move on from from Deontay. You kind of hinted at it as well, but if that is the case, once again,
only for a first rounder. I don't think we're getting a first rounder.
Okay, I was going to say, if we move on from Deontay,
I don't think we're getting
once
a first
again,
rounder.
it's like,
No way.
man, like you just playing with fire, even though you have more picks, and it does feel good this time of year. But how many times do we talk our draft class and we go through and we say, yeah, this guy's playing well, but if he would have been the day one starter and we're relying on him to be the starter and productive like that, would it play out the same way? So that's the only thing, like I said, just be cautious a little bit about.
I could only see it being worth it if we're able to trade back, get the early second or a late first in the swap, but then also get a second round pick in addition. Yeah. I don't know if that's what the value
like a robbery, bro.
That's what I mean. I don't know if
like
that's what a value is to trade back into the first or trade up in the first at that spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know what the market is really. But that's the only way it would make sense to me. If we still are able to keep that pick that we swap somewhere in the late first or early second, but then we also get an additional like second rounder.
Because I would not want to move on from Deontay and now I'm replacing him with, second, third round type. And we're talking, man, we're going to pair this rookie with Calvin Austin, who hasn't played in a year, and we're going to say George Pickens. All right, cool. That's going to be the that's not even talking about trading Deontay. That's just trading back in the draft. That's another team saying, oh, I want this guy at 17. Got you. Okay.
I don't think he's going to fall anymore. I want to try to get ahead of another team. So that's just us maybe trading back to like 30.
Yeah.
And then do they give us for that swap? Do they give us a second round pick?
Got you.
Like just
depending on where they're coming from.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what the market is for those type of trades, but that's where it would make sense to me. Can we still pick late in the first round, but then we get an additional second?
Yeah,
that would be like 5 picks in the top 50 or something.
That would be dope.
5 picks in the first 2 rounds. Let's see here. So that was Samurai Finn.
Shout out to Samurai Finn.
We have Ethan Bull saying, Moats sounds smarter with the glasses on. Haha.
Hey, man, it's the glasses, bro. It's our look, man. You got your glasses on. You sound smarter too when you wear glasses, bro.
I can't wait to get mine on.
Yeah, man.
Mike Bichetti has joined the upper room.
Hey, Mike Bichetti, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we do appreciate your support as well.
Big Noriega. Deke, we don't want Addison. No more garbage pit players. We already got garbage can Pickett. I hope we draft Hendon Hooker to take his job. LOL. That's just a hater take right there.
Now, usually Big Noriega, I see it from both sides. Jordan Addison, he ain't no bum though. But granted, he's a USC player, so I get what you're saying. He's a USC player though. He not a Pitt guy. Fight on. He's with Banner. He's a Trojan.
He did play at USC.
He with Reggie Bush, Trojan. Lindell White and Company.
I think he'd lean Pitt if you ask him.
I think when he go back to homecoming, his rookie year, he going back to USC. That says a lot about a man. Watch where he goes back with homecoming, baby. Watch where he goes back for homecoming.
Well, Burrow went up to Ohio State.
No, but he was LSU. He's clear-cut LSU. He's never wavered. He's never waved away from that, man.
No, he says he considers himself Ohio State. I did hear some interview recently.
It sound good. He's LSU. He's LSU, bro.
He's an Ohio kid, though. So he's saying he's convincing himself of that.
Yeah, because he's LSU, bro.
I would consider him more LSU.
Yeah, Jordan's fight on, bro.
Based off the play, clearly, Biletnikoff Award at Pitt. He had his better years at Pitt.
Yeah, but he became a star at USC.
No.
Fight on, bro.
No.
Fight on.
No, he wasn't as good at USC.
I never watched this much Jordan Addison when he was at Pitt. I watch him all the time at USC, bro. Yeah,
he's on at like midnight out on the East Coast.
That's perfect time, man. You know, that's right when I'm researching heavy. It's just like we right where I need to be, man. Yeah.
John McCartney, would you rather trade up, trade down, or neither?
To me, I'm a neither guy, but I've explained multiple times how I feel about the draft. I like it, but I don't like look at it as like the end all be all. So yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in, man, let me trade back. Man, I don't like this. Like, nah, man, if the player's there, or if it's one of these players there, we make a good list of names. I'm gonna take whichever one off of my list is available at that time versus me trying to decide, oh man, do I really want to move right here? Oh no, let me wait, let me trade back a little bit. I don't go against trading up, but it's got to be somebody that you really feel is worth it. When we made the move to go get Devin Bush, I loved it because it was like, man, if you feel like this guy is truly worth it and you know this is a position of need, F them other picks, go get this player. If it's a scenario like that, yeah, go move him and get that player. But outside of that, yeah, I think you just take the best player available for you. Whatever's on your big board, take that player. That's kind of how I look at it.
Fish Momentum prayers to Bruce Willis. He has dementia.
Oh, man, that definitely sucks. Man, John McClane right there.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Justin Gordon. The college-to-college thing didn't work out so well for Mason and James. We must protect KP8 and play elite defense.
Yo.
17 DBs, 32 O-line, 51 nose tackles, 81 linebackers.
Okay.
Is there a nose tackle or DT worth taking at 17? We got to stop the run. Jalen Carter, if he falls.
If Jalen Carter fall to 17, impossible. But I would love it, though. He would be the one. I would agree.
Based off these draft boards, I guess
Zero
you could
chance.
take Ika there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd probably be considered a reach
Early,
based off
yeah.
all the boards and the mock drafts and stuff. But
Yeah, I think you got. I would. Siaki is the one at 32 more than likely. 17 is interesting in terms of DB versus O line. I think. Yeah, that'd probably be my approach right now, at least. But then we also know we got other options, whether it's a Keanu Benton type, you know what I mean? Some of those other tier interior D linemen, Mozzie Smith, another guy that you could potentially get. So yeah, like I said, it'd be multiple players that we could potentially work with in those middle rounds without it all the way being at 17 or 32.
right, you get them in like the second or the third.
Like maybe at 51, that's one of those type of guys potentially.
Farron Bradford, who y'all think we could potentially trade Deontay to in order to get Addison if we went in that direction? I'd love to keep 18, but we have something consistent with 88 and 14. We can take a risk with Addison.
Okay.
A team that's looking for a solid receiver. It's willing to give up like a second-round pick.
Yeah, if I'm a team that need a wide receiver, I'm giving up a second-round pick for Deontay.
I feel like
For a fact, I'm giving up a second-round pick for Deontay,
I feel like that would be the trade market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to get Addison, though. That's the only
problem,
way
yeah.
the deal makes sense. You clear cap space by getting Deontay out of there. You get the pick. You got to get the replacement. You got to get the Jordan Addison.
And I know we're projecting and we love it, but he also does have to live up to the floor of Deontay Johnson, his productivity. That's the other part of this thing. Because I can tell you now, you take Deontay out this offense right now, George Pickens' life becomes a nightmare in terms of the coverage that he's going to get. Pat Fryermuth's life becomes a nightmare in terms of the coverage that he is going to get, the attention that he's going to get. So you, number one, have to hit on that draft pick, and that player has to come out the gate being productive, being that guy, because that's what Deontay is. George Pickens, the big play receiver, but Deontay is the receiver under any of our quarterbacks that keeps the offense on schedule. So I know we like to, minimize his productivity and minimize his role here, but Deontay is a really good receiver for us, man. So if you move on from that, you're going to be hurting Kenny Pickett more than helping him unless you're guaranteeing at least that level of productivity coming back.
Yeah, I just don't really know if it's worth the risk.
That's super risky because
I think that would be the fair trade. But for us, I don't know if it's worth the risk. First round, sure. I say just do it.
I understand even when people look at Jordan Addison and they say, hey, is he outside receiver or is he really going to be just a high-end slot receiver? I get why they said that's similar to when you look at Deontay. It's a chance, man. That's just a chance you're taking, man.
Phantom TV. Addison reminds me a lot of Garrett Wilson.
Okay. How you feel about that?
I comped him to Deontay.
That's
Garrett Wilson. I didn't watch too much Jet stuff this year. He was a pretty physical receiver at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Addison has that type of physicality.
Yeah.
Addison reminds me of Deontay. I think he's a bigger Deontay and just a better deep threat than Deontay.
That's been my takeaway. Like, I think he's just a longer body, like his frame, deeper threat. I think he's a better catcher of the football with his hands. But yeah, Garrett definitely is.
Wilson does have that speed. So if Addison does run what Pickett's talking about, like a 4.3 or something, that could make sense.
Who do you think's the better route runner between those two?
They're both good.
Yeah.
They're both really good. So maybe that's where he's getting it from, too.
Gotcha.
Good route runners. I would say Wilson's like a little bit more like a jump ball or like a physical type of one-on-one combat.
Like, I feel like Garrett's
receiver.
a true outside receiver at this level. Whereas with Jordan, we're going to find out, can you be a smaller but, bona fide outside wide receiver? It's just difficult for the smaller guys to be on the outside like that when you talk about some of these corners that they face. But we saw AB do it. We've seen Deontay do it. So those are two undersized guys that varying in terms of their talent level, but have both shown that they can go out there and survive and, be productive to a certain extent.
I think that is the last of the Super Chats.
All right. Let's get to this next topic then. And hit that like button one time. But we're going to talk about the AFC North rookie class rankings. We did, like I said, man, since the season is over, talked about the NFL power rankings for the teams. Figured it was only right to spin the block and now do that same thing, but more so for the division and ranking these rookie classes, man. So with that being this case, let's see what the AFC North looking like. Bike B.
So again, NFL.com. We'll start off with the Ravens. They got the grade of B+. Their notable draft picks: Kyle Hamilton in the first round, Tyler Linderbaum in the first round, David Ajabo, second round pick, Travis Jones, defensive tackle, in the third. Fourth rounders, they had a ton of fourth rounders. Daniel Falele, tackle, Jalen Armour-Davis, cornerback, Charlie Kohler, tight end, Jordan Stout, punter, Isaiah Likely, tight end, Demarion Williams, cornerback. Those were all their fourth round picks.
Yeah.
Round 6,
a lot of
Tyler Beatty,
picks, bro.
running back, and then free agent signee, Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
2 games, 1 start.
He's the one who came in versus us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely him.
I don't remember him starting. Did he start after that?
Was it the following week?
Yeah, he must have.
I think the following week because Huntley was still out. Yeah. That's crazy.
They gave the Ravens a B+ grade for that draft class. For the Steelers, they gave us a B+.
Okay.
Round 1, Kenny Pickett. Round 2, George Pickens. Round 3, DeMarvin Leal. Round 6, Connor Hayward. Round 7, Mark Robinson. Round 7, Chris Oladokun. And our big free agent signing.
Super Bowl champion Chris Oladokun. Let's put some respect on his name.
He's on the team.
I thought
he finished the season.
I thought he's still up there, right? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna make sure real quick. But yeah, man, that's Super Bowl champion, bro.
I guess he might be on their practice squad still.
As long as he out there, he got a ring, baby. Hold on. Yeah, he's still on the roster, number 14, man. Yeah, he's Super Bowl champ, bro. Active. Shout out to the Super Bowl champ, man. Hey, it's the Steeler way.
Well, that was our 7th round pick.
There you go.
And our big free agent signing was Jaylen Warren, running back.
And Chris just re-signed a futures reserve contract to stay in Kansas City.
Good for him.
Yeah, shout out to see. You come through Pittsburgh, man, good things happen to you. Yeah.
They gave Cincy in their draft class a C+. Daxton Hill was their first round pick out of Michigan, DB. Round 2 was Cam Taylor-Britt, cornerback. Round 3, Zach Carter, defensive lineman. Round 4, Cordell Volson, O lineman. Round 5, Tyson Anderson, DB. Round 7, Jeff Gunter, defensive lineman. And then their notable free agent signing was Cal Adamitis, their long snapper.
Okay.
Finally, the Browns. They gave
the Browns
a C+ as well. MJ Emerson was their first
Yeah.
pick, and this was in round 3. They don't have early picks because of the Deshaun
I was
Watson
about to say
trade.
their first round and second round is Deshaun Watson. That's
MJ Emerson, he was a defensive back. He played 17 games, had 6 starts for them. Alex Wright, also in the third round at 78, 17 games, 5 starts. David Bell, receiver out of Purdue, was their 99th pick, also in the third round, 16 games, 3 starts. Round 4, Perry and Winfrey. I remember I was talking about him. Defensive tackle.
Who's what? Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick Cade York, kicker. That was a bad pick. Round 5, Jerome Ford, running back. Round 6, Michael Woods, receiver. Round 7, Isaiah Thomas, defensive end. Also in the 7th, they took Dawson Deaton, center. Notable free agent signings, DeAnthony Bell, safety. He had 2 starts for them. And Ben Still, defensive tackle. He ended up having 1 start.
Okay. So how'd you feel about the B+ ranking? Because essentially they have us tied with Baltimore in terms of this draft class.
Right.
1 year removed review.
Right. Yeah, Baltimore had a good draft. I think we had a really good draft. I think it's just all in what you're looking for if you're going to give the edge to one team over the other.
Okay.
Baltimore had a lot more picks.
Yeah.
They had 2 first-round picks. Now, they hit on both of them, Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum. But from top to bottom, I like ours. I'll take us with Pickett. You got your franchise cornerback. So you want to talk about the amount of picks the Ravens had. I feel like the impact we're going to be having from ours, particularly with Pickett being our hopeful franchise quarterback, is going to be more felt with the Steelers. I feel like we obviously saw that in the second half of the season and what he was doing for us. Pickens, a wide receiver 1, potential wide receiver 1 in the second round. Yeah. I like Liao in the third. Like we got Robinson we're talking about, potentially getting time for us next season. Connor Hayward at tight end. We know the type of plays he was making. That was our 6th-round pick. And then Jalen Warden as our undrafted free agent signee. Yeah. I like ours from top to bottom over the Ravens. So I'd give us the edge for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for me, man, I thought the grade was appropriate. The B+ I like. Number 1 with Kenny, you have a quarterback that at least shows you enough that it's a conversation about could he be your franchise quarterback. I think that's a huge, step in the right direction, especially when you talk about that position. George Pickens, another one where you feel like, man, this guy looks like a bona fide wide receiver 1 franchise caliber talent. So I like that part as well. The thing with both of those guys is this, though. I still feel like we're leaning more projection versus like the actual like numbers to reflect just yet. So that's the only reason why it's like I can understand them not going over the top A+ with them, even though we saw a ton of good from both of those guys. DeMarvin Leal missed some time, but when he did play, especially in the second half of the season, the productivity was there. Connor Hayward, second half of the season, we really could see his impact, and we could feel good about that. But once again, it's still like, as we were talking about earlier in the show, we know he's capable of a lot, but now we want them to actually like implement it, feature it, and show that it can be that. That's the only thing, like I said, with Connor, but we feel extremely confident with him. Mark Robinson, man, this dude came out of nowhere at the end of the season and gave us big-time snaps. Chris Oladukin went and won a Super Bowl, so that still has to count for something. And Jalen Warren, I mean, this dude didn't start at all this season, but we know he was our bona fide number 2 running back, and we feel extremely confident that – have we even talked about running backs this offseason? I don't think we – have we talked about running backs yet?
Bringing in guys?
Yeah.
We're not.
Because Jalen Warren, absolutely. Yeah. Unless you want to get Bijan Robinson. Just, you did it before. I just
not in real life. Just mad.
But it worked. Did it work in the game?
It's worked so far.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
It has worked so far.
He'll be available.
We're not doing that.
So we could do it for wide receiver. We can't do it for Bijan.
Yeah, just different.
It's just. No, Philly had like multiple running backs. Philly done 3 running backs.
I'm good with Najee and Warren.
Got 3 running backs.
I think we're set with Najee and Warren.
You sure?
Yeah.
Just bring it in, spice it up, man. We just go 3-head monster this thing. Just run. Remember when Baltimore was running with 3 running backs? They did it to J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Who was the other guy? It was like 2 other dudes they had, man. It's like a whole rotation.
Yeah, but they didn't allocate that many resources into that. Dobbins a 2nd-round pick. Where the hell was Gus Edwards drafted?
Yeah, good call.
I mean, they're bringing – who are the other guys in that rotation,
bro,
too? They had Bell.
Bell came through.
Latavius Murray.
No, it was another cat. Oh, my gosh. Yo, was it Freeman?
probably.
I feel like he went over there for a little while. Like they went through the real Rolodex, man. But no, man, as a whole though, man, I thought our classmen we hit on in terms of top to bottom. I'm with you 100%. I think that we did solidify all of that, and now it's just how good can they truly be? What's their ceiling? But I do like the B+ grade in terms of us, and at the same time, man, I'm not surprised that they gave Baltimore B+ because how many times do we say we are very similar in terms of how we build our teams? We're very similar in terms of how we are run, and it's just different. Obviously, we only had one first-round pick. We went quarterback. They went safety and center. Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum. I think that if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you're feeling extremely confident in both of those guys' ability and the productivity that you saw this year from them. David Ojogba, I mean, he's a dude that coming out. No,
he was supposed to be first
he was supposed to
rounder.
be really
He tore that
good.
Achilles.
Yeah. So it's like we'll see what that looks like, but it's kind of like incomplete in terms of evaluating him. Travis Jones, I like him, man. Good, really good interior D lineman, nose tackle guy that we talked about even drafting here. Daniel Falele and this litany of 4th-round picks. Daniel, yes, but more importantly, I look at the Isaiah Likely pick in the 4th round, and man, he was obviously a guy that did provide productivity for Baltimore. So I think of that, and then I don't like the fact they included him in here because of obviously how the game went versus him when we played him. But Anthony Brown, it's like I just keep seeing that daggone play action pass from backed up that he completed, and it's just like, yo, why him? How'd you allow this to happen? But they credit that as well. So I can understand why they would give them the B+, but I'm with you. If we were gonna pick and choose, I'm leaning us. But
like if you were gonna go
if I had to pick
through the first 2 picks, let's say you're giving me Kenny Pickett and George Pickens versus Hamilton and Linderbaum, I'm taking our first 2 picks for sure.
That's because we're in Pittsburgh. If I have Lamar Jackson on my team, I'm not tripping on Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. I'm saying give me Kyle Hamilton and the center Tyler Linderbaum is gonna protect it. It's just different positions. Yeah, and we know one is quarterback. So quarterback, as we've talked about on numerous occasions, is always going to have an extra level of, severity to it, or extra level that we look at it and hold it in reverence. But I guess I just think it's just different because of the positions. Safety and center, how do we compare safety and center versus a quarterback? When the quarterback touches the ball every single time, the quarterback's going to get credited with the win, stuff like that. But to me, Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum, the same way we feel about George Pickens and potentially Kenny Pickett, you look at those 2 dudes, and I can understand Ravens fans talking about, man, I'm taking them dudes over Kenny Pickett any day. We don't feel like that, but I can understand why they might feel like that.
And then, round 2 is a tough one just because word's still out on Ajabo.
Yeah.
Travis Jones, he was doing some stuff for them, but you look at the rest
DeMarvin, I feel like are a wash, though.
Sure. That's what I was going to say. You look at the rest of
Yeah.
our draft, you have DeMarvin Leal. He was doing some stuff. The only problem with him was the injuries. But Connor Hayward, as much as he wasn't utilized that much, when he was, he had big plays, like impactful plays.
See,
and then Jalen Warren,
so
too.
check it out,
I think
though.
he beats out any of their depth guys.
But the reason why I say, like, the similarities, when you brought up Connor Hayward, I look at Isaiah Likely, and I'm like, the way that we like Connor and we're optimistic about his role, Ravens fans are looking at Isaiah Likely very similarly because of what he was able to do as well. I think the tip for us, though, I'm with you. It is Jalen Warren because that is the one that did hit and has shown, even as an undrafted guy, what he was capable of. But outside of that, like, we'll be making a case for the punter.
Funny, too, is Mark Robinson.
Like,
Mark Robinson was the one that was shown out in that late Ravens game.
Yeah.
Like, he was part of the reason that we won, and we were able to keep them kind of contained on the ground, right? Didn't we? It was close to holding them under like 100 yards.
Because that was a switch
game
we made in the second game versus the first game. Absolutely, man.
So I don't. In terms of grade, I just think it's a damn good draft.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Like, we hit. Like, we feel really confident.
It was a really
with
good
it.
draft.
Absolutely. It is funny though. I feel like both of us, in terms of Steelers and Ravens, probably feel really good about their draft. When you start looking Cincinnati, a little bit more question marks, right? Dax Hill was one of their top picks, but he didn't really have the same level of role when you talk Kyle Hamilton, when you talk Kenny Pickett, when you talk Linderbaum, when you talk Pickett. So it's like, it doesn't hit the same when your early pick, your guy, doesn't have that type of productivity. And like we said with Cleveland, Yeah, they won't pick it to the third round because of their Deshaun Watson trade. So based on his couple of games he played this year, I take our class over his little play this year too. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, it was good though, man. But I do feel like we're. Said we ranking them. I go Steelers 1, Ravens 2. Then after that, yeah, Bengals 3, Browns 4. Yeah.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah, I would probably do the same thing.
No. I like it there.
Yeah, I'm looking
like
through
it.
this Browns draft.
Yeah.
That Cade York pick was pretty bad. He wasn't a good kicker for him.
He wasn't, bro. The thing that's funny though. So the Cade York I don't like, but then when I go back to Baltimore, I think of the Jordan Stout with the punting action. I'm like, okay, well that's probably why you felt confident to move on from dude who was there. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was there for a minute before he retired this past all season. So it's like, dang, they even got that part right. Whereas Cleveland definitely did not get the kicking situation corrected. They did not do that.
Okay, let's get some of these super chats.
Another sneaky pick though for Cincinnati, Cordell Volson. He was their left guard. That was the dude that we talked about highlighting the first matchup, Cam Hayward versus him. That dude played well though this season, man. I will say that. I thought he definitely
16
for him
starts.
to be a 4th round pick as well. Like I thought he definitely came in there and gave them a lot of productivity at that position and kind of helped shore up that line that we knew still needs work. It still is not. It's not where it needs to be, but he was a part of them improving. So I did want to shout that out. And like you said, for him to be in the 4th, that's good value.
Farron Bradford says, facts, Moats. 14's next step is creating separation.
No.
8 put a stamp on Addison, though, so who knows? I'd love to finesse a first for 18 and a future pick. Addison equals 18, but better hands to me.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. And the thing is this, it's like, the reason why I say I hope so is you watch Jordan in college, and he has success. But I also see some DBs that were able to give him a little bit of some issues. I just know at the NFL level, there is no easy week. There is no, oh, this is an easy corner. Like, all of these dudes are going to have a certain level or a certain floor for them. And when you talk about his size, his stature, and the tools that he has, that's one of those things where you have to see, can he, I don't want to say overachieve, but for guys that are built like him with his attributes, typically they don't come out and just dominate as wide receiver ones. That's why I was still a surprise when we saw Deontay doing what he was doing at times for us. But even now, we look at him and we look at George Pickens and we say, yo, you know, you're probably just a high end too. That's always going to be the question with Jordan until he shows that he can survive out there. So that's just the thing, man. When you're talking about making a move from a Deontay Johnson who's already proven that he can do this for multiple seasons now, you just got to ask yourself, which risk are you willing to take? If you take the risk and it works out, great. You look like a genius. But if you make that move and it does not work out, well, now you have to ask yourself, what damage have I done and how long is it going to take for me to correct this and the ripple effect from it? Because it's not just going to affect that wide receiver. It's also going to affect Kenny Pickett. That's the one that we do not want to take a weapon from. We do not want to make his life any harder.
And Pickett likes Deontay.
Yeah, we don't want his life any harder. We want the easy reads. We want him to be able to have that luxury of, I can hit this right now, but if I want to take a chance downfield, I got that option as well. Deontay is bona fide, proven above reproach that he does do that. Jordan, we're going to have to see, can his game translate to this level? There is not a guarantee that that's the case, though, man.
We got Eric James asking, Moats, how was your draft night like?
Man, my draft night, I did actually put the story up there on the channel too, man. But no, it was crazy, man. A ton of emotion. Because the weight, you know, they project you higher, and when you don't go because a player gets picked out of, you know, the big board positioning, so to speak, it can just throw off everything. So yeah, for me, man, I remember watching myself sit on the best available player. Like, I was like the number 1 guy on the best player available for like a round and a half, I felt like. And it feels like hours when you're seeing your name up there, but your phone is not ringing. But when it finally did ring, man, it was one of the best experiences ever. I was able to share with my family and stuff like that, man. And yeah, that's, you know, one of them things you will never forget when you finally work your whole life, blood, sweat, and tears, and that team calls you. That team say, I'm going to take a chance on this kid from the 757 from JMU. When all the other teams didn't, yeah, you never forget it, man.
Farron Bradford. Emerson, the dude who got mossed for a tut against Auburn, after talking greasy in Buddy's ear. LOL. Glad to see him humbled. He was Cleveland's second-best cornerback.
Let's go. That is funny. That's the game of football, though. It will humble you quickly. Bro, am I seeing a Buffalo Bills logo in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills
I'm not
guy.
tripping, right? Okay. I was like, yo, what is that? Yeah. Who is that? You got a Bills fan here?
That's not my man.
Hey, shout out to the Buffalo Bills guy, though, man. It's all love. All love. It's another channel, too, that you might want to look for, too, where, got you, bro. We got you. Let's ride.
Big Noriega says Kenny Pickett will never be a franchise quarterback.
Well, that's his opinion right now. The facts are gonna come out. That's the beauty of football, baby. We planting our flags in the stand right now, but hey, in a couple of months, we back out here and we gonna find out, can he or can he not be?
I think Big Noriega is gonna be featured on Freezing Cold Takes Twitter account.
I'm excited. Whoever is correct at the end of these 12 months, it's gonna be fun.
Farron Bradford, should we cut Gunner to keep Sims and Gentry? Yeah, if that's the trade-off, I would do that.
Yeah, if that's the trade-off. I don't think it needs to be a trade-off, though, do you?
I'm not sure. I mean, we brought back Anthony Miller on one of these cheap deals. So receiver room could start getting a little crowded if we bring more of these depth guys back, like a Sims and a Gunner.
I'm saying, like, in the sense of, like, cutting them right now. I think I like the competition of Gunner, Sims, Calvin Austin, whoever else we might bring in, even if we do cut them at the end of this thing. But I'm just saying right now, when the roster's about to go to 90, why are we cutting them right now? Like, that's a player that's going to really give us a chance to push Calvin Austin to see, is Calvin actually ready? You don't want to hand rookies or inexperienced players these type of opportunities, man. You want them to have to earn it. You want them to have to compete and really question, am I good enough to do this? Can I really keep this guy off of me? Because Gunner's a veteran. You're not going to watch Gunner make a ton of mistakes out there. The fumbles that happened, that was very uncharacteristic. You saw how I was even surprised to talk about it. But when you watch him, he's going to do everything else correct. And that's the part when you're talking about beating a player out like that. It's not just about your athletic ability. It's not just about your speed. It's about, can you actually be a football player, not just an athlete? And so that's the part where I'm like, I would like to keep Gunner here to have Calvin really have to beat him out. Because I think Steven is fine. I think Steven's going to cook and going to rise to that challenge. But Calvin, he's the rookie. He's the young guy. I want to see, what does that look like, man?
Sure. Big Noriega. You'll trade DJ, but praise Kenny, a.k.a. Drew Henson. Get out of here.
Whoa. He tried your boy, bro.
Come on, bro.
Tried your boy. Drew Henson, yo.
That's terrible.
Why you playing with him, bro? He say Drew Henson? No, man. God.
Come on.
Drew Henson? Next he gonna be saying your boy is oh my God, what was the cat that went out there that got beat up by Russell Wilson? And
I know you're talking about Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn, gonna hit you with these Matt Flynn next. Like, God dang, Drew Henson, bro, you gotta chill.
Yeah, I don't even think I gotta respond to this. I mean, the trade Deontay stuff is due to contract, due to production.
Yeah.
Due to what we'd be getting in return. If it is a first-round pick, I mean, it has to be something you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And going back to why we talk differently about quarterback versus the other position, it's just the impact the quarterback position has.
Yeah.
That's why these dudes are getting paid $40-50 million.
No question, yeah.
And, I mean, think of the Chiefs structure. They let Tyreek Hill go.
Yep.
It's not taking shots at Tyreek Hill. It's like, this is how I want to construct my roster. Patrick Mahomes is the guy. If we don't have him,
a proven force
nothing
multiplier.
else works the same.
Yeah. He's the proven force multiplier. Absolutely 100%, man.
So if you think, like me, like other people, Kenny Pickett can be the franchise. Like
the
that's
organization
important
thinks as
for
well.
the offense.
Let's not don't minimize it to just you and me. Like, nah, the organization is on record with this thing. So as much tape as I watch, as much tape as you watch, neither one of us watch more than that organization. I can assure you of that. So with them, man, they're going to feel very confident in his ability for a certain reason because of what they've seen on tape and what they've been seeing in practice from him. So like I said, we're going to find out what his ceiling is. Is he just a really good quarterback? Or is he a great quarterback? Is he a franchise quarterback? We're going to find out.
King Stacks. Considering DJ's contract, him or Addison? DJ at number 2. I mean, that that is all why the trade stuff is being brought up,
Yeah.
because of what he's getting paid
Right.
and him getting like 800 yards last year and
Yeah.
having the drops and stuff. So it's like,
Right.
is it worth it?
The problem is you can't guarantee that you're getting Jordan Addison or guarantee that he's going to give you what we just talked
Just
about.
like
in
T.
terms of
Higgins
that.
is
Yeah.
being talked about as
Right.
being traded because he's going to be getting a contract now.
Yeah.
So is the production worth the contract, or
Yeah.
could the Bengals just
Say,
draft
let's
another
draft
receiver in the
another
second
guy.
round and pair him
Yeah.
with Jamar Chase?
And they're having that conversation of, is this guy that we draft, can he give us T. Higgins productivity now? Is he capable of that? That's going to be
Yeah.
a legitimate conversation for them to have. But like I said, it's a dangerous game to play because if you guess wrong, it can set you back. And that's the part that, every team is going to weigh that out. But that's what we also say, you don't live in your fears. But you take all things into account before you make a decision like that as well, because you got to be right more times than you're not when you're making those type of moves.
Yeah, and I think the difference is, and we've talked about this, the Bengals and like the Chiefs and some of these other teams, they're a step or two ahead of us in their progression.
Yeah.
Whereas like Burrow, whenever he was starting out in his first year or two, like you had Higgins and Chase together with him. So we don't want to make it detrimental to Pickett to just get rid of Deontay willy-nilly because we want Deontay around for Pickett's
You build
progression.
that. You build the rapport. You build their confidence. When you talk about some of the scramble drill stuff, right? Look at Joe Burrow when he's extending the plays. Those guys are all in sync. But you don't get that when it's a new player, a new guy every single season. No, you get that when it's been the same group for multiple seasons. And that's what they have in Cincinnati. And when you look around the league, I mean, even in Buffalo, it's been the same group. When you got the same core, you're going to be all locked in. When you talk about Brady when he was down in Tampa, when you have the same group, it's like, man, they play a certain way. They trust each other. Ben here, when we would have our our certain group, it's like, bro, they're all clicking at the same time. They're all on the same page. That's what you want, but you can't get that if you're always looking, hey, man, he's more talented. I'm just going to go over here now. It's like, bro, this is the fit. They got a relationship. They already got a connection, man. Let's build this out. That's some of the stuff. But when we're talking about the pros and cons to it, that's it. But that's why we lay out these facts because, it's a big decision, but either
it's not
one,
something to take for granted.
either one can work. But you have to figure out how do you make it work and what is all the information surrounding it.
We also got Let's Go UW saying, what's your thoughts on Norwood leading the team in missed tackles at 32.4%?
Shout out
Arthur
to the
Millette
analytics,
was
baby.
second at 15%.
Shout out
He's
to the
got to be better.
analytics. Shout out to the analytics. Analytics are doing what they're designed for. They got you over here hollering about they got to do better. I'm sure it's going to be other people that are going to bring this up towards them directly on social media. Hey, man, bro, y'all suck. Y'all got to tackle a little better. I look at it like this, man. You're talking about the nickel/safety position. Those are always tough tackles, man. That's athletes in space. Dudes always struggle with that on the perimeter. That's a part of the game, man. They could work to get better at it, yeah, but trust me, man, what you're talking about with those caliber players as well, Trey Norwood and Arthur Millette. Now we're saying Minka Fitzpatrick and Terrell Edmonds and DeMonte Casey. There's different caliber players in terms of the athletic ability. That's a tough spot they in, man. A very tough spot. So, yeah, like I said, I don't put too much stock in all the analytic stuff. I'm more of a, when I watch this tape, how do I feel? When I watch this tape, man, are these guys being impactful? Are they making plays? And they do. So, yeah.
I'll be honest, Trey Norwood was pretty forgetful for me last season. I feel like I was gonna say I feel like if he was missing egregious tackles, I would have remembered.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot, but it wasn't like that. But like I said, that's the analytical element of it, man. And it's funny too. We pick and choose with analytics, right? We'll take this analytical report as gospel because it's, something that we might feel, hey man, 32%, this is bad. But when we look at the Deontay Johnson drop rate, and we'll be like, how is this rate so low? How is he the league leader? And we're like, bro, that don't add up. So once again, it's like, how much stock do you want to put into these numbers? I trust what my eyes tell me when I watch that tape. Because when they tell me, oh yeah, Deontay only had 2 drops all season, I'm like, you a 2-drop lie? I know what I was watching. And I'm a fan of Deontay. Y'all know, I be in this thing talking about him all the time. Like, bro, I like him here. I want him here. And if not here, he can go up the road. But I want him on my team. I want Deontay. I'm a Deontay guy. Okay. But that, that's part of it, bro. That's definitely part of it, man. Because they will swear, man, yeah, Deontay, man, yeah, he one of the best guys ever in terms of drop percentage. I'm like, bro, no, wait a minute now. That ain't adding up. It didn't. The math ain't math on that one. But right here, they hit you with the math is math. Yeah. Gotta be careful with them analytical folk, bro.
Sean McCartney. The reason I asked about O-line in the draft is because besides guys like Paris Johnson or Skoronski, I'd rather go trade a free agency to help our O-line.
Well, those two guys, I would also throw in Broderick Jones. I think that he is also in that tier with them. Even though I will say this, Deke, because I had to go back and watch that semifinal Georgia versus Ohio State game. Paris be making me nervous again, bro.
Too high.
It's the NFL speed / power rush that he struggles with. I'm watching Georgia. I'm like, bro, this dude's giving him a little bit of issues here because he got the first step. And that's what Paris struggles with. And that's my big concern with him. I love everything else about his game, but the speed rush makes me concerned when I watch him play. And in the NFL, you got flamethrowers out there, bro. That's my only concern with Paris.
So let's just
That's
not draft
my
him.
only concern with him, bro. Like, the more I watch him, it's like, bro, I keep seeing it. Other than that, he's a monster, man. He mauls people in the run game. He'll block anybody else, plays with good effort. But when it's a dude that
He's
has
decently mobile, too.
he is, like, it has good size. But when it's dudes that have that get off that can really make him have to kick and have to, like, bend and get down with, it ain't always there. Not against the top tier, not against the real talent that I see. And that's the part where I'm just like, if it's going to be that, I don't want to give up a crazy high-end pick for that. Like, is it still going to be better than Dan Moore? I do think so in certain extents. But if I still
If
am
you're
not
not
going to
sure,
feel
it's not even
confident,
worth it.
yeah, that's my
terrible.
thing.
For
I'm
a
just
first
like,
round pick.
it makes me a little bit hesitant, bro. The more I watch, it makes me hesitant, man. Like, I know it might not be popular because, you know, big name Ohio State, and I get it.
You might not even have to trade up for him,
But
though. He
yeah.
could be one of those guys that drops because I think some mocks have him starting to go into the teens and stuff.
Yeah. The more I watch him, I'm like, I get the Peter Skoronski. Like, to me, top 10, yes. When I look at Paris, I'm like, that makes me a little concerned, man.
Big Noriega. He's in official troll mode right now. Like, he's officially gone there. I don't even think you can pay
All right, let's hear this
any of
one.
these comments
Let's
anymore.
hear this one.
Says he was only drafted here because he went to Pitt.
Oh.
And then he also says, Kenny going to turn into Taysom Hill?
Whoa. Wait, bro. Why are you disrespect? That's low key. That's a shot, bro.
Then he also says, let's not forget about the concussions, Deke.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, I don't know why that's being brought up. It's almost like he's rooting for another one or
Oh,
something.
it's
Like, what?
yo, wait a minute.
What's going on here?
It,
It's getting personal with Big
it
Noriega.
does seem like Big Noriega. Maybe.
Is he a Penn State fan? West Virginia fan?
I was going to say, where is his college ties lies? You know, and maybe, is he of any relation to Kenny's fiance? Because maybe he feels like, you know what, that's his cousin, that's his little sister, you know what I mean? There's something, and he's like, I ain't want him to be talking to her.
Maybe she left him for Kenny.
I can understand it. You know, my daughter's in dating age. This is such a new frame for me, Deke. It's a struggle. I'm trying to work with it, though, so I can understand he might feel some type of way if that's the dynamic. That's all. But yeah, I don't know why the Taysom Hill. It's like, bro, I've played against Taysom.
Right
I did. Kenny and Taysom should never be mentioned in the same breath in terms of quarterback play.
He already brought up Drew Henson. I mean,
that he tried him as well too, bro. He tried him as well. Hey, yo, Stan Claire, why you gotta say Noriega is a WNBA fan? That's nothing wrong with. I too am a fan of the WNBA. We've had a WNBA player come on here before. Shout out to Bria, okay? But yeah, man, it's nothing wrong with WNBA. But it is something wrong when you call Taysom Hill. You say Kenny Pickens, Taysom Hill. That's kind of crazy. But either way, though, we are entitled to our opinions. Remember that.
Andrew then says, Kenny already a better QB than 20 starters.
Okay.
I'm apt to agree with Andrew on that one.
Okay. So
Steeler Nation on fire. How would you think PH did punting the football?
I thought he was well. I thought he was consistent at times. The big thing is we have to always take into account what we ask him to do. We're not asking him to boom the football. We're asking him to directionally punt the football because of, once again, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl. The big punt return, what happened? No hang time, ball middle of the field. You cannot have that. Great distance, though. Great distance, but you cannot have that. Location, and hang time matter. So understanding what Danny Smith, the special teams coach here, wants, I thought that Presley did execute that at a high level and a consistent level. But once again, it's not always going to be pretty. It's not going to get style points because that's not what it's designed for. It's literally designed for him to not allow returns. We want fair catches. That's the whole mindset with it, man.
Big Noriega has his running mate, R. Barley 18. Says shout out to
They
Big
Shaq,
Noriega.
that's Shaq and Kobe right there in terms of how they hate on. You seen the meme when it be like, yo, the Shaq Kobe just sitting there head by like, oh, here we go, throw the oop, they spit. That's them too in terms of how they hate on Kitty. When they talk so. Kitty, they, yo, you get Big Noriega, you get the windmill this time. R. Barley like, ah. He stuck his arm in the rim, man. Like, that's how they roll, bro.
I think you're right. So shout out Big Noriega. Kenny Mushhead. Homie Early said he on that Bible push-up kick in 2024 because he know Kenny going to blow the 23 season.
Tell you, man. It's personal, bro. They not feeling them, bro.
I think it is.
They not feeling them. Yo, it's they literally like, yo, I'm gonna throw it off the backboard this time. All right, deuce. Yeah, that is what they
on
want,
a
man.
Thursday, February 16th. The NFL season's over. It's off season, and this is where their energy is. This is where they're at.
Think about
this
it,
is where their mind is.
Think about it. This is usually the time of year when all the optimism is at an all-time high. This is when you can't really knock them down. You can only praise them. He's like, nope, nah, I ain't choosing that. I'm going the opposite direction.
Wasn't expecting these vibes today. Sean McCartney, here's some analytics. Kenny, 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay, 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Kenny, rookie.
Mm-hmm.
What? Kenny, rookie. Deontay,
Yeah.
4th season, also in the league. What am I? Oh. He's comparing Kenny versus Deontay. That's what he's doing. Kenny, 10 touchdowns. Deontay, 0. Kenny's in his rookie season. Deontay's in his 4th season. Also led the league in drops with Big Ben. Noriega, don't listen to anyone. Trolling is the only thing you're good at.
All right. Okay. So that was in positive support of Kenny Pickett is what I'm taking, correct?
Yeah, I think he's saying. I think he's in a way just making the case as to why, like, yeah, we're not thinking about trading Kenny. That was his rookie season.
Yeah.
And if you want to look at certain analytics, he was more productive than Deontay.
Yeah.
And Deontay should be in his prime in his 4th season. Still had some hiccups and whatnot.
Gotcha.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
But no, I don't necessarily want to take a shot at Deontay. I just wanted to catch the ball more. I think he's a valuable asset to the team.
And he's still a young player, bro. Like, I like his game, man. I like his game.
That is it for the Super Chats.
All righty.
622.
That is perfect timing, man, because we're going to talk about these couple corners real quick, man. Have a little fun with them, and then we tap up out of this thing.
Sure.
On this beautiful Friday, Junior. Shout out. So, yeah, man, we want to talk a couple of cornerback prospects, some names that you guys continue to send in to the website, arthurmoats.com, or even to the email address, moatswinners@gmail.com. But these couple cornerback names have continued to pop up. So I feel like, it's only appropriate for us to spend a little time and talk about them. The guys we'll talk about today, Keely Ringo, the corner out of Georgia, number 5. You got Cam Smith, the corner out of South Carolina, the Gamecocks. Where's that number 9 on his chest? And then you got Clark Phillips III, number 1 from Utah. Shout out to the Utes. But when I think of, and I'll start with Keely Ringo, 6'2", 210 pounds. Listed him as a sophomore, 42 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 picks, 7 PBUs. Man, the pros of this dude, man, he is a big, strong cornerback, man. Really good length on the outside. Very physical in terms of his press coverage. When you watch him jam, he gets hands-on guys. I think that he plays with really good fundamentals and technique in his press coverage, and that's why he's able to consistently reroute guys and disrupt their timing on the release. I think he plays with excellent effort as well, and he has a really good nose for the ball. Watching him in the semifinals game, man, Marvin Harrison Jr. cooking. But at the same time, Marvin Harrison got a fumble in that game. And why is that, man? This dude, Keely Ringo, is blitzing, comes out of the blitz, and then runs 20, 30 yards downfield to force a fumble, Peanut Tillman style in terms of the peanut punch, man. That type of effort, when that shows up on camera, man, it gets me going. So I definitely love that. I think he's ultra competitive at the catch point as well, and I think that he runs well. in terms of his straight line speed, and he's a very physical guy that will tackle you. I think that he excels in terms of playing some of the zone concepts or being a little bit more off. Now, some of the cons with him, I think his hips are tight. And I think that when you're talking about comparing him or projecting him to play on the outside versus true bona fide number one receivers, he could have some issues there. I think that he is a little bit more faster than, he's more quick than fast to me. And I think that's why he finds himself playing catch up a lot. When you watch him in coverage, he benefited from that pass rush in Georgia. When the pass rush was cooking and that ball had to come out on schedule, man, he was going to kill whoever was out there because he's going to reroute you with his hands. He's going to be aggressive in terms of those first 5 yards. The problem is when that pass rush did not get there and teams were able to actually throw at him and take chances down the field, he gave it up a little bit. It didn't happen a lot because that pass rush was elite. Like, you watch them dudes, man, they could win inside and outside. So it wasn't often. But Ohio State, the reason why they scored as much as they did was because their offensive line actually held it down a little bit more versus that Georgia defense, and it really exposed that secondary, so to speak, from my perspective, man, just watching the multiple games that I did of that Georgia defense. The other thing, man, in terms of Keeley, like I said, I definitely think that he's more of a zone corner guy if he's going to be on the outside. I think you plant him in that zone concept, it will work really well for him, but he's limited to that if you're trying to have him as your number one corner outside. And I think that he could tackle, but I think he needs to improve the fundamentals and consistency of it because he does miss tackles. And a lot of it is not because he's not willing to. I just don't think his fundamentals are as clean as they need to be every single time. And at the end of the day, I personally think I like him more as a safety than an outside corner.
Wow.
I personally would. Like, he reminds me of a dude, Aaron Williams, when he came out of Texas. We took him in the second round in Buffalo. Long, fast, but you question, man, how fast are you? Are you a 4.4, 4.5 guy, or are you a 4.3 guy? I don't think I see 4.3 with him. I feel more high 4.4, maybe even 4.5 when I watch him run.
So they were saying in high school he ran a 4.35. I don't know if that's going to change because he does have some weight to him. Yeah. He's probably leaner in high school, but
yeah,
they got him in that range at least,
bro. Like, if he ran that, I would be really surprised. But when I watch like the games,
but yeah, 40s are different than game speed.
Because when I watch the games, I see a lot of guys that are able to get separation on him. It's just that pass rush makes the ball come out on time. But when it doesn't, he is in trail. He is chasing after guys. And that is where it really shows up. But for him, he didn't really get exposed like that because the pass rush, it was going to come out. The problem is at the NFL level, it doesn't always come out on time. And that is where it could be a little bit dicey with Keeley. So that was, like I said, my thoughts on him. Second dude, I just ran through him in that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah. Second dude, Cam Smith, 6 foot, 188 pounds. Like I said, junior. Out of South Carolina. He had 27 tackles, 1 pick this season, 5 PBUs. And I will say this, the 1 pick this season, cool, but he's had multiple interceptions in multiple seasons as well. It's not like when we talk Joey Porter Jr., the 1 career pick. This dude had 3 picks last year, 2 picks the year prior to that as well. But when I look at Cam Smith, man, this dude, he has elite short area quickness, man. His change of direction is A1. I love his footwork. You talk about his feet, man, lightning. The technique, I think, that he plays with, he's able to match any receiver that they put out there on any short and intermediate route. I think that he has those type of hips, those type of footwork, and that type of technique. Plays with a ton of confidence, too, when you're talking about attacking the ball at the catch point. To play press, but you can also push him off and let him play off coverage because of the big vision that he has, and he will tackle you. He's not afraid to hit you. Physical corner. I like that. Honestly, he reminds me a lot of Cam Sutton. That's who he really reminds me of when I watch him, man. I think he's very, very smart. I watch how they use him playing man-to-man pressed up. I watch him when he bumps off and how he's reading certain routes and jumping certain things. Really, really reminiscent of Cam in that vein. Some of the cons, he's on the lighter side. And I know they got him at 6 foot. I was really interested to see how they have him, like his true measurables at the combine, because he does at time on tape looks more like a slot corner in terms of his build. I just don't know what the true measurables are, but when it says 6 foot, $188, I was questioning
Some
that,
places
bro.
got him at 6'1".
Yeah, I want to see what those measures are, man, because he does give me a little bit more slot or nickel corner vibes than true outside guy. He's very, very quick, but once again, I want to see that long speed because lightning quick, short area quickness looks great on tape. When he coming in and out of his break is dope, but like Cam Sutton will lightning quick you to death inside. Will route you, will cover any of that short to intermediate stuff. But when you take him deep, that's when it starts to show up. That's what I want to see with Cam Smith. Does he have that big speed? Now, obviously, the combine will give us a little bit more of a barometer for that, but that's one of the things. And because he's a smaller guy, he does struggle to get off of the blocks from the bigger receivers on the perimeter. So, NFL-wise, why is that important? AFC North, we're going to make your corners tackle. And teams are going to make our corners tackle. So when they're not able to get off them blocks from the number one receivers or those bigger body receivers, now that running back is getting on that second level a lot easier. Or you get the alternative of, hey, we're just going to send that big running back to that corner right there who's a little bit undersized. So that's one of the things, like I said, that just something to be a little bit more aware of. And because of the smaller frame versus true bona fide wide receiver ones, they go up and get that ball, the contest, the 50-50s. Can he jump with them dudes? Because he's not a 6'2", 6'3" type corner. He looks a little bit compressed and lean. We'll see, can he compete with for example, a George Pickens when he goes up? Can you jump with a guy like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of dudes that I want to see because that's what you're going to deal with. And I think the big question mark is, are you truly a cornerback one, or are you just a high-end number 2 / slot guy like how we look at Cam Sutton? Cam Sutton, we feel great number 2 guy. We feel like he's an elite slot corner. But I don't think we look at him as a true cornerback one where we just feel very confident and don't worry about it. And that's some of the feelings that I have for Cam Smith.
Sure.
Then the last guy, man, Clark Phillips III. Got him at 5'10", $183. 24 tackles, 1 sack, 6 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and 2 of them things to the crib. Productivity. The dude produces. Elite short area quickness and change of direction as well. Very similar to Cam Smith in that vein. Love his technique, though. Like, you watch him on tape, man, he is very fundamentally sound in that vein. Has the feet and hips. Once again, can match any of those routes, short to intermediate. And he reads those routes well. Talked about him creating turnovers. I think he could truly play inside or outside also. He's physical in press coverage, and he's a willing tackler. But I also like this part about him, different than the other 2 guys. I like when he blitzes too. I think that he's more, I don't want to say it's less nonsense, and he's more like, I'm straight line, I'm actually trying to get it. Because we always say it's the difference between a person that's blitzing and a guy that's rushing the passer. He blitzes like he's rushing the passer. Whereas you get some DBs, they're just like, hey, the line said to go here, so I'm just going to run here, but I'm not really trying to attack anything. Clark is trying to attack, so I do like that part, especially when I'm thinking to myself, hey, what if I bump him inside to the slot? On some of those possession downs, something like that. Like, I want to see a guy that will go get it. Now, some of the cons, quicker than fast. Got to see what the long speed is, though. Once again, whenever we're talking these corners, the long speed is going to be impactful because we know the NFL game doesn't have the best size for outside either. But he's one of those dudes that I think that he also needs to do a better job of getting his head around on some of those deeper throws. It's been some times, like the games that I was watching, man, where he would lean heavily on just face guard, so to speak. Like, instead of remember some of the corners we talked about, your Gonzalez, your Joey Porter, and even Witherspoon, they're constantly turning their head around. With him, it would be more so, I'm just going to go here with it. And it's cool, but NFL, man, they flag it. If they feel, oh, man, this guy could have had a chance, man, it's still the flag anyways. You got to get your head around. So that's one of the things. And he's one of them dudes that it definitely showed up in the games I was watching. When he get beat, bro, he grabbing. Like, yeah, I'm like, bro, you ain't even try to make it up. Like, he one of them. So, you know, it's smart, so to speak, but at the same time, like, that could cost you. College-wise, it's just a 15-yard penalty. NFL-wise, it's a spot foul. So you got to be really, buttoned up in terms of when you want to hold, when a guy has you beat, or when you commit that PI when a guy has you beat versus when you say, you know what, I'm going to just try to make up right here. That's, like I said, the last thing with him. And It's just another question mark because of the size. Is he more of a slot corner versus an outside guy? But other than that, though, I think that, he plays the game at a very, very high level. I like his game.
So I'll start with Ringo. I was curious as to why he was dropping so much as of late, because middle of 2022 football season, a lot of people had him number one. Saw a lot of jersey swaps with Ringo being on it, coming to the Steelers. This needs to be our CB1.
Yeah.
And doing some research on him, I could kind of see why, and I think you hit the nail on the head. He just looks a little stiff out there. But he has all the physical tools. So I'm wondering, is it one of those things that can you develop hips like that? I feel like it's one of those things where you just naturally have it or you don't.
I would say, you either have it or you don't. The guys that
you
have,
look at the Christian Gonzalez is
he has.
Rob said, he was like, he's so smooth out there. I don't see the same with Ringo. But he's got those physical traits. He can press people at the line.
Think about the play that Rob referenced when he was up here, the one that we all saw on the highlight tape when he played against Colorado. He's flipping inside, flips back outside, and catches the pick and then runs it back. I don't think Keely Ringo has that in his repertoire, bro. I don't think he's going to develop that. The way that Keely survives on the outside, to me, you have to even more so be buttoned up with your fundamentals, and you get him in the right scheme. You can't have him in a scheme where it's heavy man-to-man. I think heavy man-to-man, he's going to fall into a lot of issues. Even when you're matching him up against a number 2 receiver, I think about who's our number 2 receiver right now. You're either talking Deontay Johnson or George Pickens. Either one of those guys are gonna have him, with some issues. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. You're not putting him on a Jamar Chase. I think those guys can give him some issues. If you're talking true man-to-man for 4 quarters, that's some of the stuff when you're talking about them hips and being out there. You really got to be able to do that if you're going to play in a man-to-man scheme. He could play zone, though, because he doesn't have to be able to be as fluid with those hips. It's more so big vision, route reading, understanding the concepts. I think he can do that because of his size and the technique that he plays with currently. But the man-to-man portion, I think, is going to be a challenge for him.
Yeah, because I think he's still a good ball player. That's why
he's
I
really
got
good,
real intrigued whenever you're like, I think you move him to safety.
Yeah, because to me, I would move him to safety because I think that he will be a high-end cover safety that is physical as heck, that already has good size. And his hips at safety would be elite versus his hips at outside corner, because you're not facing those type of receivers. You're facing tight ends. You're facing big body receivers when they try to get that matchup at the 3 spot. You can handle that. He can do all of that. He can play the run. I like all of that. You would have to see on a play in and play out basis, is he physical enough to be in that box like a safety? But to me, I like him more so there, because now I don't have to have him trying to be an overachiever with tight hips and maybe questionable top end speed. I look at it when you think of how Charles Woodson aged out at the end of it, right? Put him at safety. It's bro, he still can cover, be an elite player back here. That's that stuff where I think of Ringo. I'm just I think that he could transition to that and be fine. But obviously for a kid like him coming out, you're going to want to see if you can do it on the outside. And trust me, man, even with the example I gave with Aaron Williams, he started out on the outside as well. But after the season and a half, it was bro, you're good out there, but you're high end in here. You get paid nicely in here. You're almost just a guy, you know what I mean, on the outside. When I think of Keely in terms of him transition to the NFL level, that's some of my questions with him. That's all.
Yeah, because he could probably get away with stuff with his physicality, but that's only going to last so long, especially if you have, like you said, the opposing team and they're able to block a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's going to have to either start grabbing, doing some penalties, and compared to some of these other dudes, too, he let up 500-something yards receiving last year, and that's in Georgia's defense.
Bro, when the ball did not come out on time, he could become a victim at times, bro. Like I said, watching what Ohio State was doing, and it wasn't just Marvin Harrison either. He had some action, but any of them dudes, when he was forced to cover for an extended amount of time, he struggled. Shoot, you go to the opener versus Oregon. Similar concept. When he was forced to cover, and it didn't happen a lot. Oregon, I felt bad for Oregon, bro. They just couldn't win up front. If they could have protected up front, I think it gets interesting because of how the receivers were getting some separation. But the problem literally is he had 3 seconds and that ball had to come out. The 1 or 2 times where it didn't, they got gashed. And he was one of the victims of it. But You talking about once every 3 or 4 games where a team could really protect like that. So that's why he was viewed as highly as he was during the season. Even me, before I watched him game in and game out, I was a lot higher on him. But when I actually watched him, I'm like, bro, this is not that. And also, when we talked about the safety as well, remember we talked about my goodness, is it Chris Smith?
Georgia's,
Yeah, when we talked about him as well, it was like I didn't feel as strong with that one, but it was still some similarities of, bro, when you're playing behind this D line, that ball has to come out. So viewing you in coverage is different. When I look at them corners we talked about, PZ Jr., Gonzalez, and Witherspoon, that ball ain't coming out right now. They got to run down the yard and really like make a play on it. It's a different level of what I'm asking. Whereas with Ringo, we don't know, can he really make them type of plays and hold up out there, because he wasn't given a lot of those opportunities, man.
There was a lot of good stuff with Christopher Smith. I didn't think there was as many hiccups, but what he's not being talked about as being a first-round prospect.
So it's just different, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel like a team's going to get enamored with Ringo because of the physical stuff.
He got a lot of tools, though, bro. The size, it shows like he looks like a bully at times out there.
Yeah. But like he looks like a football player. Like he looks like he'd still be a good player. He
does,
so maybe
bro.
the switch to safety could do him good if that takes place.
Yeah, but he definitely, I like him a lot, though, bro. I do.
Cam Smith, I was thinking a little J.C. Horn light.
Yeah, I can see that.
Plays with that aggression, with the histrionics.
I'm glad you called it light. When you watch him in
the
uniform,
light. He's literally, 20 pounds lighter, probably an inch or two shorter. But has that physicality of just like he's gonna go up and hit you. He's gonna try to like truck stick you.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be a big like hit or miss guy, a little bit because of that. But also, I feel like he does try to get really physical at like the line of scrimmage and stuff, like you were talking about. So combine that with the histrionics and like how aggressive he is, and he's showing his personality out there.
No, he is though. He definitely is.
Like he could be a guy if he's playing awesome. Like you as a fan, you're loving him. But if he's getting burnt, you're like, oh, this guy again. This like an Eli Apple almost.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I could. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what his path is. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be an elite corner, like you said. Yeah. But he could be like your CB2, and he could do a really damn good job of that probably. Yeah. And then the other dude, I like the last dude a lot, Clark Phillips III.
Bro, he's productive as heck,
I think he's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is really that size. Yeah. But he's got that dog in him. That's what I really like.
Like he's not afraid. Like that's the thing that I enjoy when I watched him versus Jordan Addison. The reason he matched up with Jordan Addison so well is because they're built the same. They're, a little bit smaller, more quicker type of guy, so he could match up with Jordan. Now, Jordan still was able to give him some issues, stretching some of the downfield deep ball stuff, but it wasn't because he was running away. It was just Jordan putting together some dope routes and really putting some detail on some of his routes that ultimately created that separation. But that's more so a compliment to Jordan Addison than necessarily a knock on Clark Phillips. I just think that Jordan just showed that, hey, I am worth a first-round pick, because even versus a guy like this, I can still create some separation when I got to. And he did do that. And there was some times, too, where I felt like Clark kind of got away with some contact down the yard, where at the NFL level, they're going to flag that. Collegiate, you can get away with it. So with Clark, though, man, he definitely has that dog in him. He's not afraid to compete with anybody, man. Like, I like his game. I do. The big question is just the size. Yeah.
I feel like he could be a high-end slot in the league.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Get him in like the third round or something.
100%. Yep.
He develops in a year or two. Really good slot. And like you brought up, the blitzing, that's part of the slot too. If you as a defensive coordinator are willing to utilize that, because obviously we did with a Mike Hilton here. Sometimes do it with like a Millette too. But yeah, I liked his game. I wonder how much teams are going to view him as an outside guy, or try to use that versatility, or if they're just going to say, hey, go to the slot. This is going to be you for us.
The other player that came out, was it last year, that was similar? Not necessarily into the type of play, but just that question mark, do you take this type of play in the first round? Asante Samuel Jr. Bro.
Yeah, I was thinking him too, but he ended up going, third round, right? Third round,
but he was the one for me where it was very similar.
Because he played outside at Florida State.
Yes, outside, very productive, but just undersized for outside. That's my only thing with Clark. I don't want to take it early because he's undersized, and I think that he is a bona fide slot. Even how he blitzes, I'm like, yo, I like this dude in that role. But I still think he's capable. If you need to bump him out, that he can. But I don't think he lives on the outside of this level.
Yeah, if you need him for a play or two.
All right,
To
injury
throw him
happened.
outside, whatever.
Can I get out of a stadium like that vibe? But I don't think we want him being the guy full time for us on the outside.
He could be a guy that if we do this whole Jalen Ramsey thing and we don't bring back Cam Sutton, that we would draft in the third round. It's like, okay, you're the slot. We got Jalen Ramsey and Levi Wallace on the outside.
Yes, and we feel good about it.
I would feel good about that.
We feel good about it. And I'm going to have him still compete with Millette and Norwood, because I still think Millette physicality is going to help him run game-wise. But when it's time to cover, when it's time for obvious pass situations, this is the guy. Yeah, 100%. I like that. Yeah.
So 6:44, just wrap up with these super chats.
Let's do it. And hopefully we could be done by 50. So,
Sure.
I don't lose my opportunities of Lover's Day. I like to celebrate Happy Lover's Day for the whole week.
Okay.
Actually, the whole year. But I don't get that all the way when, we kind of go a little long.
Art Barley 18.
Blame Shazier. We on that Shay today. Blame Shay.
Sure.
That Shay hit. I like that Shay.
He says Kenny averages 1.8 yards per completion. Sad af. I don't even think that's possible.
Yeah, definitely not possible. But I get where he's going with it. Like I said, it's Shaq and Kobe, man. He trying to he's like, yo, I'm gonna shoot this free throw one time, Kobe. You can dunk this miss real quick. I got it, bro. I got it.
Sean McCartney. I'm not speaking for anyone, but I feel like when we defend Kenny, it's not because we think he's elite right now. Hasn't had a full season, so there's not enough to judge on. The bad part is when people want Steelers to struggle to prove that.
Yeah, but that's why we say, Sean, if a person is looking for that type of proof, man, that's not on us to prove that. We know what we see. We know what we believe. If a hater want to hate, well, let the hater do all the work of bringing in the facts. They the ones who brought up the case, right? That's how they do in the court of law. If you taking me to court, Deke, I ain't got to come up with all this info. You got to come in. You got to present your case. So, yeah, have them present their facts. But other than that, man, we feel very confident in Kenny because we know what the tape shows. We know what we've seen and the results that came from that in terms of wins and losses. So, yeah, man, I ain't tripping on any of that other, little sidebar analytics like that, baby.
Let's
or not
go
even analytics,
Dub.
just the numbers.
It says, in terms of Clark Phillips, I have faith in Austin to coach his bad habits out of him. He's got the talent to be a shorter Richard Sherman.
See, I think they're very different, man. Like, the shorter part is a big difference. I guess that's a big part of what made Richard, man. Yeah. But I like Clark, though, man. I do like his game.
Phantom TV, Clark Phillips shut down Jackson Smith, Addison, and Drake London. He has more consistent tape than any corner in this draft.
Now,
all the big-time receivers.
Now, we got to talk about when you said shut down Jordan Addison. I saw somebody else try to throw that in here when we brought up Addison or something like that. We was talking corners. Oh, yeah, Clark locked Jordan up. Boy, stop. I watched the tape now. He did a good job. He did not lock that man up, though. He did a good job. But I would not say he locked him up. I did see at least one deep completion, and for a fact, he should have been flagged on it. At the NFL level, he would have been flagged. Collegiately, he wouldn't get flagged on it because you can have contact with guys as long as the ball is not in the air. It can be downfield. So by the letter of the college rule, he was fine. NFL, they're gonna hit him with a 60-yard penalty, and yeah, we gonna be looking at Jordan like, yo, that's a heck of a play right there for you, or we'd be looking at him like, bro, what are you doing? That's the only thing. I know we excited about him now. I get that, but I cannot confirm that one about Jordan Addison. Can't do that.
Steeler Nation on fire. I don't call it Lover's Day. I call it Simp Day. LMAO.
Hey, man, it's all about who you working with, baby. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Q. Can't wait for you to look at Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland.
He's next on the list. Trust me. Because his name done popped up many times in the email. Yep, he's another one. Definitely.
Fish Momentum. Have a great weekend. Future is bright. #ambition.
Big facts. Big facts, man. We can't wait to do that. Let's get it.
And that is it.
Yo, this was a vibe. This was a vibe today, bro.
It was good.
Efficient, effective. It was popping on a Friday Junior, man. Shout out to Thursday. And shout out to the random facts from Deke, too, man. Deke, I like that vibe, bro. Shout out to your random facts, man. It wasn't tough.
I just pressed
shout out to your random facts, man.
Search on Google and typed in random facts.
You see how we got the Thursday rolling? That might be the play. I research, you ran a fact, and then I say where we go from there. But either it was a vibe. So, with that being said, man, y'all make sure y'all enjoy this weekend out there. Stay safe. Be with the ones you want to be with. And if you don't want to be with them, man, get yourself some space, all right? But either way, y'all stay safe and be kind. And until next time, baby.
Peace.